Hey, Pardon My Take listeners, you can find every episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. On today's Pardon My Take, Week 18 preview and picks. The drive to the 405 is coming down to it. We'll break it all down. We'll give you our picks. We'll talk a little bit about Antonio Brown Bucs saga. We have Ryen Russillo on the show, our good friend Ryen Russillo. We talk NBA, we talk college football, we talk everything. Great interview, over an hour long with Ryen Russillo because he's the best. And we also have Fyre Fest of the week. And we are brought to you by our friends at Chevy. You know, we are truck guys, not just any truck guys, Chevy truck guys. And 2021 was a big year for Chevy trucks. Silverado made some big news. We're not just talking about the Silverado and the Low Man Award or Coach Prime and all the goodness Dion's bringing. We're talking product news. The Silverado ZR2, Chevy's new flagship off-road truck, was introduced in September and in the spring. You'll be able to see it at your Chevy dealer. And what's next for 2022? Well, just a couple of days ago, Chevy revealed the first ever all-electric Silverado, built from the ground up on the Ultium battery platform that brings with it new power, new flexibility, and of course, a new range of what's possible in a truck. We've seen the Silverado EV, and it's really cool on the outside and on the inside. It's got all the kinds of new features, just a lot of first for an EV truck. So head over to Chevy.com to learn more and reserve your Silverado EV today. They just announced it. I saw it on Twitter. It looks awesome. So check it out, the Silverado ZR2 and the new Chevy Silverado, all-electric Silverado. So check it out. It's coming soon. Big year for Chevy Silverado. Big year for Chevy Silverado with us. Thank you to Chevy. And go right now and just whisper, Pardon My Take. You get $100 off your new electric Chevy Silverado. Okay, let's go.
It's Pardon My Take, presented by Barstool Sports.
Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by Chevy. The all brand new Chevy all-electric Silverado is coming out, the ZR2. Check it out. It's going to be awesome. Today is Friday, January 7th, and it is Week 18, the first ever Week 18. And it's coming down to it. The drive to the 405, which also might be the drive to Dallas-Fort Worth, is coming down to it. And we're going to do our picks and preview. How we doing, boys? Are we feeling like it might be in Dallas now?
Well, so here's the general vibe of the studio. Big Cat's in Chicago right now, but Billy has already taken Big Cat's seat on the other end of the table here. So he's breaking in the ass groove for himself later. But Big Cat, there is a palpable bit of nervousness in the studio today. There are nerves because these picks mean something. Hank said that he changed his picks like 4 times, and he's never done that before. So people here are deep inside their own heads.
So let's recap real quick because it's been a season-long competition. So if you missed it at any point, we'll recap it for everyone. The deal is this. Every single week, all 6 of us have picked 4 games, a favorite, an underdog, an over, and an under. The rule was that the last place person and the second place person have to drive from New York City to LA for the Super Bowl. We are now facing Week 18, and everyone is still alive to potentially drive. So the standings are as such. I'm going to do it by points because it's easier this way. PFT and Hank are tied at first for 40.5 points. Pushes are half a point. Yeah. Pushes a half point. Jake is in second with 37 points. Myself and Liam, we are tied for third with 35.5 points, and Billy is in last with 33.5 points. So everyone, depending on Week 18, could potentially, like obviously PFT and Hank can't finish last, but both of them can finish second. I can't finish first, but I could finish last. So everyone is, or I couldn't finish second, but I could finish last.
Big
so
Cat, you got your Steelers. So you're half ahead of Liam. Your Monday night Steelers.
Oh, okay. So what am I now?
So you're 4 games behind PFT and Hank. So technically you can still tie for second.
Okay, so yeah, there it is. It's chaos. It's chaos with everyone's picks. We had memes. Everyone texted memes separately, so there's no funny business going on because we know that Billy would cheat if he could figure it out. But it's definitely tense right now because I think facing it, people don't really want to travel all the way across country in a few days and maybe go to Dallas too, which makes the drive significantly less fun.
I mean, Dallas would be a lot of fun to make the road trip down there, hit up Nashville, maybe stop on Bourbon Street, hit New Orleans on the way.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, Billy's right. It is sick. Also, fair warning to you, Big Cat. Billy said that he's in danger of having all 4 of his picks be correct this week.
Oh, okay.
He feels like he just went 4-0.
Also,
Wow.
PFT was trying to get me to spoil. He came up to me at the office earlier when I came in and was like, "Hey, Hank, I submitted my picks already, so you can tell me what yours are."
Yeah.
Nice try.
And then Hank was like, Hank correctly said that's cap. I was cap.
Nice try. It will be, though. It's going to be exciting. It's going to come down to it. We've all submitted our picks. Before we do our picks, should we talk a little bit about AB and the recent news? So Antonio Brown obviously came out today or yesterday and said that he was injured. No, he was hurt, not injured. And Bruce Arians cut him on the sideline because he was hurt and refused to play.
No. He was injured, and then Bruce Arians told him that he was hurt.
Hurt, right.
Not injured.
Right.
And then
right.
Bruce Arians cut him and did the throat slash to him, allegedly on the sidelines. Also, I was reading some of the screenshots that AB put on Twitter or on his Instagram story this morning. He said the screenshot was a text from Bruce Arians, and it said, "Hey, Antonio Brown, what's up? This is BA here." Before he proceeded to say, like, "How are we feeling?" And Antonio Brown was like, "I hurt my ankle. I think I'm going to give it a go, coach. I just want to do whatever it takes to be ready for the team." And many people are saying that wasn't a real screenshot from Antonio Brown and Bruce Arians, that Antonio Brown doctored it. I just want to say I stand with AB. I don't think that he's done anything in the past that would indicate to us that he would make up something like this. So we freed AB. He got released today. The big question is, like, is anyone going to actually sign Antonio Brown? Is that a possibility?
The Cowboys should sign him for my future.
The Chiefs? What about the Chiefs?
I do have to give Antonio Brown credit. Who knows where the truth is in this one? I tweeted out earlier, but I think the truth is probably Antonio Brown and Bruce Arians are both assholes. Like, that might be the truth because it seems like a lot of people are taking the side of Antonio Brown because you have to take the side of player safety. Then you have people like Stephen Shea that are bootlickers and essentially saying the Bucs could never do any wrong and putting out facts that don't prove anything whatsoever. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle here. Bruce Arians never wanted Antonio Brown on the Bucs. That was Tom Brady's idea. So it's not totally unbelievable that Bruce Arians would be like, "You're out of here because you won't go back in the game." And also Antonio Brown, let's just say he hasn't been like maybe the model citizen in terms of teammate and dependability on the football field. You know, with
that's the fake news
card.
media that told you that, Big Cat.
But isn't it crazy? Like, you have to pick a side here. It's like, no, I think they probably are both just kind of jerks.
I think there's a very high likelihood that Antonio Brown came back from his ankle injury, played a couple weeks ago against the Panthers, played really well, and over the course of an NFL game, maybe tweaked that ankle again. And so at halftime at the Jets game, they were getting their ass kicked. He was probably pissed off. He wasn't getting the ball much, and he probably said, like, "Feed me the fucking ball."
Right.
And there might have been somebody in the locker room that was like, "Hey, shut up." And then they get to the sideline and he just quits. I think that might be, like, he's probably not 100% on that ankle. That part I don't think is, you can't say, like, you're not injured because he definitely had a significant ankle injury.
Correct.
Probably tweaked it again. I thought the funniest screenshot that he posted, though, was in his text with Alex Guerrero, the TB12 guy. So he put this online, too. He said, "Hey, Alex, if we're not going to work anymore, that's fine. Let me know about the $100,000 I paid you. Only fair to get back half my money. Let me know how to proceed." First of all, shout out to Alex Guerrero for getting cash from Antonio Brown and not just, like, relying on him to pay the bill after the fact. But then the reply from Alex Guerrero was very funny because he was like, Antonio Brown is 1,000,000% going to put this reply on social media at some point.
Right.
And here's his reply. Good morning, AB. I appreciate you reaching out to me. I completely understand that you want to go in a different direction. Thank you for the opportunity to work together. You are a wonderful person. I hope for your continued success on and off the field. Please let me know where you want me to send the balance. Big hugs, my friend.
There it is.
He's like, that's going to be read aloud in court one day.
And it was. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the court of public opinion read it out loud, and they're like, hey, this is actually the coolest thing Alex Guerrero has ever done.
Yeah, seems like a good guy. And then Antonio Brown also tweeted out a screenshot of his routing information and account.
I saw that.
At Bank of America. He quickly deleted that, but yeah, shout out AB. He's the most online wide receiver in the NFL these days, I think.
Don't you think if he was hurt, though, he would have said something to Danny Boy Hustle Hard?
Ooh, interesting.
Well, no, Danny Boy Hustle Hard told us that he's not going to share all the conversations that they had.
That's true. But
the parts he shared are on the other side. Like the parts that he did share help the Bucs case and not Antonio Brown's case. So why would he do that?
So you're saying that Tom Brady, your hero, made a mistake by bringing Antonio Brown in?
Well,
no, I mean, listen, he took a chance. It didn't work out.
They won a ring. Ring.
Yeah,
so that's the
it
thing.
did work out.
You could say that it absolutely worked out, but I just find it so funny that there are actually people who are like, AB made this entire thing up. Like, no, Bruce Arians, he said he didn't want Antonio Brown on the team, and then Tom Brady was like, no, I want him on the team, and then he was on the team. This is Tom Brady's signing. This is also why Tom Brady was like, he needs to get help, and we're like, we just care about the person because he knows it's his signing. And AB also has not been completely dependable in terms of the fake vax card and the fact that he just ran off. Who knows? Like, I'm ruling it both might just be a little bit of assholes, and it was going to end poorly either way.
What if he goes back to the Steelers for Big Ben's last game?
That would be cool.
Get the band back together.
That would be cool. That would be awesome.
Cool. It just wouldn't be fair if he went to the Chiefs. I hope he doesn't go to the Chiefs.
I don't think he'll go to the Chiefs. I mean, I
don't
really
think he's
only
going
think
anywhere.
I don't think he's going anywhere. The only reason I said the Cowboys is because Jerry Jones definitely has the stomach for – like Jerry Jones would see this and be like, I wish I was getting all these headlines, good or bad. People are talking about the Bucs today. So I also appreciated Bruce Arians in his press conference because there was a claim that Bruce Arians did a throat slash to AB. And then he mimicked it in his press conference. He's like, does this look like a throat slash? And he went across his neck and pointed out. Like, no, I was telling him to get out, get off the field. And I was like, yeah, but that is across your neck. But yeah, I guess that's how we get a he said thing.
Maybe he was loosening up that chest device that he wears.
Yeah.
If I was Bruce Arians, I would always be like around my neck trying to fiddle with the tightness of that weird strap that he has on his chest.
I don't know. I don't think Antonio Brown would be back on an NFL team. I guess you can never say never. Maybe actually, the most likely team he could be back on is probably the Bucs. If Tom Brady just said it to Bruce Arians next year, like, hey, we need Antonio Brown.
He's really changed this offseason.
He runs that organization. I don't think that's unfair to say, and it's not unfair for the Bucs to let Tom Brady run that organization. But this was Tom Brady's decision, and that's why it makes sense that Bruce Arians and Antonio Brown never really got along.
Mm-hmm. I also respect Antonio Brown's commitment to playing his song on all of his Instagram stories to try to get as much exposure for the Pit to the Palace. I'm starting to sing along to it. Like, that song's been stuck in my head all day.
He's hoping I worked out to it.
It is pretty good.
He's hoping it becomes. He's hoping it becomes the new, like, everyone uses this for their Instagram story when they're hiking in some mountains.
Yeah, from the Pit to the Palace, baby. He's going gremlin mode.
Yeah. All right, let's do some picks. So, are we ready? Does everyone feel good?
I feel great.
It will be very interesting if we share picks because it will change the course of Sunday. Hank,
or Saturday.
As always, or Saturday. Hank, as always, would you like to start with your favorite?
Hank's eyeing me down right now.
I do. Well, it's tough because you're wearing sunglasses, so I can't really get a read on you.
I mean, the die has been cast already, Hank. You can't change anything.
I know. I'm just like trying to get a read. I'm just trying to get any edge I can get.
All you need to know is I'm also going gremlin mode, so fair warning.
My first game is Saturday night.
Good.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys -5 is my favorite.
4.5.
4.5.
So
I don't hate it. It does feel like the Eagles are going to sit a bunch of guys. And it feels like the Cowboys want to win because they don't want to go in on a 2-game losing streak in a bad note.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking, Hank?
Cowboys?
Gardner Minshew, maybe?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't think I've really shared a lot of what goes into my picks for this. And to be honest with you, I didn't. This is where I've been second guessing myself. And it's too late. My picks are submitted. They've been changed. I did what I usually do, is just go through the board once, write down my picks. I did that last night because I've been thinking about this. Then today, before the show, I was like, fuck, let me double check these picks. Started second guessing everything. Went on a website that shows you where the public money is on, and the most public money is on the Eagles, so I picked the Dallas.
I would be worried if Gardner Minshew's playing. I feel like Gardner Minshew wins this game.
Because he's playing for his future.
Yeah. And also he's awesome.
But he might be a pick machine.
He might be a pick machine.
Now, is this pick one of the – you're saying it wasn't your original favorite, right? What was your original favorite? What'd you switch from?
I think the Cardinals.
Because we should also track Hank's potential picks.
Yeah, his original picks. All right, so
the original picks, just to see what you could have done.
You have Cowboys. Yeah, this game, the Cowboys don't. I mean, they obviously could potentially get as high as a second seed. It would take the Rams and the Bucs to lose. I don't think that's going to happen. So they also are in a spot where they don't want to get guys injured. I don't know. Weird. It sucks that we have this Week 18. And there's only a few games that really matter. There's only one game that truly matters, and then the other games are kind of through seeding and stuff.
Yeah, and we did find out for the game that truly does matter, the Sunday night game between the Chargers and the Raiders, the teams are not going to do the kneel downs. They're not going to do that. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it's not soccer. You can do that in soccer. That's why they switched up the last round of games for the group stage of the World Cup, where teams have to play at the same time, because you can just pass the ball back and forth amongst your fullbacks and get away with it. In the NFL, there's always going to be a couple guys that really try.
Yeah, that want that touchdown. Yeah.
My original favorite was the Patriots, but I didn't want to do a double loser situation. So.
Okay. All right. So Liam, your favorite?
Mine is the Patriots.
Okay.
Mine is 6.5, I believe.
Yes, minus 6.5.
Are you a little bit worried
versus
that
the Dolphins?
Something funny always happens between the Patriots and the Dolphins.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I took it.
Oh.
Because I didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
there
like
always is.
process.
Yeah, there always is something weird that happens at the end of the season with them. So I don't know.
Okay. PFT.
I got the Rams -4. Took the Rams -4 against the 49ers.
I was
4.5.
so close to doing
4.5?
Oh, my God.
Why didn't you do it, Hank? Why don't you pull the trigger, coward?
I wrote that down, and then I went to the website, and I was like, if the Rams have a higher percentage, I'll do the Rams, but they didn't.
Okay.
So you're under the idea that Trey Lance just is bad.
I'm under the idea that, the Rams have the 49ers number. This seems like an easy pick to me.
No,
isn't it the other way around?
The other way
though?
around.
Yeah, I know,
you're
I'm aware.
trying to go. You're trying to
lose.
As I explained last week, yes.
Okay, that makes it fun.
So 4.5. 4.5. Rams -4.5, I guess, is my pick.
So you're trying to lose all your picks today.
This week and last week, as I explained on last week's show.
You're trying to lose so that you can drop.
I did pretty good last week. I ended up going 1-3.
Okay. We don't need to do the conversation again, but it's not fun when the whole competition comes down to people trying to intentionally lose. Next year we have to figure out something that has no upside whatsoever, so we avoid this.
I don't know why you're upset that I want to go on a road trip.
We've done this conversation a million times. I'm not upset you want to go on a road trip. I'm upset that we did a competition that was supposed to be punishment that the viewers wanted to listen to, and then in the last 2 weeks you're like, I want to lose.
There's so much chaos that goes into these last 2 weeks. Even if you were trying to lose this competition, you really couldn't do it.
Right, but you did.
We're not good enough at gambling to be able to.
The Rams have the Niners number.
Lose.
Okay, Billy, or I'll go with my favorite. I'm taking the Bucs -8. Not only is there so much controversy going around, Tom Brady riding the ship, also Tom Brady can get the passing record with 488 yards, I want to say. So he's definitely going to try to get that. So Bucs -8. It feels like he'll just keep trying to throw late, even if it's a blowout, to try to get that record.
How many more records can Tom Brady possibly get? He gets so many records. He's collected all of them.
Yes, he has. Billy.
Chargers by 2.5.
Ooh.
Is it still 2.5?
3.
Oh,
3.
All right.
wait.
Nice
locked-
try.
no, it's locked
Try to
in.
buy
You
that
can't do
half
this.
point. Try to
You
buy that
can't do
half
this.
point.
I don't know. No, this one is just like this is the only real game on the schedule. So I was like, where it's not like these guys are competing to get into the playoffs.
So you think it's going to come down to like a field goal, 1-point win because they're so close?
Yeah, well now it's 3. I'm sort of like, because they're not gonna push. That's fucked. I don't know. I'm still going with it. Chargers.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have to. So thank
This
you.
game's going to be
Thanks.
awesome.
I am going with the Cardinals -6.5 at home against the Seattle Seahawks. For me, this just comes down to motivation versus no motivation. Or more motivation, I should say. Because the Cardinals want some
motivation.
momentum heading into the playoffs.
But the Chargers, ironically, would kind of rather play on the road for the first round of the playoffs. Because they
you
stink.
mean the Cardinals?
Sorry, yeah, the
Yeah.
Cardinals, because they stink at
That's
home.
true. But
Yeah.
a win streak.
Yeah.
They won last week. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going with the underdogs. So everyone's got their favorites. No overlap, which is kind of crazy. Underdogs. Hey.
My underdog, I'm sure PMT Stats Info could pull up the stat. I've ridden them all year. They've been one of the best covering teams all year. They don't care about their record. They're going to be out there fighting and scrapping for every inch, every claw, every nail. Lions +3.5.
Yep.
PFT's giving me
Okay.
a look like he also did that.
No, I did not
Oh,
do that.
thank God.
I did not take the Lions. It's a good pick, though.
Thank you.
Jordan Love versus TB12.
Is
Yeah,
it going to
battle.
be TB12 or is it going to be
Goff. I don't know.
Goff? Yeah.
Golf syrup.
Yeah, that game, a game that doesn't matter at all, except
But you
for the
know
Lions.
it matters to
Yeah.
the Lions
Yes,
and
correct.
Dan Campbell. And
Correct.
their draft, I looked it up briefly, but I don't think their draft pick can be affected by a win or loss here. Maybe a loss they can get one, but if they win, they're not going to go
Right.
from the 2 to the 6, so it doesn't matter if they win. So they're going to want to win.
Now, do we know that it's going to be Jordan Love? Because Aaron Rodgers, maybe if he plays well enough this week, he might be motivated to go out there and try to get that vote back from Hub.
Yeah, shout
Try
out
to get
Hub
that
Arkish.
MVP.
I don't know why Hub Arkish wrote a whole entire blog saying sorry. Aaron Rodgers is a bad guy. He should be in prison. His voting sounded correct to me.
Sounds
So-
like Aaron Rodgers cancel him. Aaron
he
Rodgers
called
is
him a
pro
jerk,
cancel
right?
culture.
He did. Yeah, he canceled
Yeah.
Hub.
Yeah.
That's a real shame.
I
Sounds like
love
he's not
that
very
whole story.
anti-cancel culture.
It was such a great story. Hub having to then apologize and be like, I embarrassed all the other voters. It's like, no, dude. You should vote for whoever you want. Maybe you shouldn't. No, you know what? Aaron Rodgers is a bad guy. He should be in prison. Good on you, Hub. All right. Liam, you're underdog.
I took the 49ers +4.5.
Okay.
Or is it 4.5?
Yeah, what did we get on that one?
4.5. So you're head to head with PFT.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
They just have their number.
Yep.
All right, PFT. You think you're trying to lose?
My underdog is the Jets. I got the Jets +16. These guys get paid to play
16.5.
16.5. Even better. These guys get paid to play football too. They're professionals. The Jets.
They might win.
The Jets might win outright.
I'll be pulling for the Jets.
This is also my underdog, and it's going to be a statement game. I've rode the Jets. I think now it's going to be 11 times
Straight
on
to
the
the bottom.
underdog,
Every week.
and they've taken me to the bottom. So they're either going to take me, get me out of this, or send me off with another letdown. But 16.5 is a lot of points, and we saw how they played last week. They're electric. They're gearing up for an awesome rebuilding offseason and coming out strong for week 1 against the Bills, where they're definitely going to shellac them.
Are you sure that they don't want to put too much tape out there for the Bills to know how they're going to play them in week 1 of next year?
It's going to be a totally different team by then. We're burning the ships, going after it,
I was so close to taking that just
I
because
know.
I knew you were going to, but I didn't.
burning.
I knew Billy was going to take it too.
Yeah. It's like, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, Billy's
Right.
Billy's mind says if the Jets are underdogs, I'm going to bet them.
Yes.
And this is close to 20 points they're giving them.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's 16.5. Still got to go over 17 to get to 20. Close to 20.
We'll get there.
All right, my underdog, I'm going with the Raiders +3, so I'm going up against Billy on that one. I don't know why. I just think Derek Carr, I just had a vision that Derek Carr is going to have a big throw late against the Chargers on Sunday night. And that interview after where Derek Carr could basically say, everyone counted us out. We had so much adversity, and everyone just starts, fawning over Derek Carr and what an incredible season. Rich Pasicchia, that's in my vision board.
Yeah.
You're going to get make or break with like a fourth down conversion. Few fourth down conversions by the Chargers. Because if they convert them, they might go up 20. But if they don't, then they should be up 20 and they're down 10.
Right.
And they're definitely going to try to go for it on fourth down because you can't beat the Raiders. These aren't the Broncos. You need touchdowns to beat them. You remember last year's game? I think it was a Thursday night game, the Chargers and the Raiders. This game kicked ass. I'm hoping that this game is like 50% as cool as that game was.
Yes, that was a cool game. Okay, Jake, finish us off with your underdog.
Yeah, I'm taking the Houston Texans plus 10 at home against the Tennessee Titans. A couple of weeks ago, they were big dogs at home to the Chargers, and they won outright. So maybe another win to close it out.
Mm-hmm. They've beaten the Titans before. Even though the Titans are playing for the 1 seed, they've beaten them before. So not a good pick. Mills Mafia.
There was an article that came out today about Deshaun Watson. Apparently his trade value has gone way up over the course of the season. So at the trade deadline, there was it was rumored that the Dolphins, I think, were trying to ship either 2 or 3 first-round picks to Houston, but they wanted some guarantee about the legal matters that Deshaun was going through, that they would be resolved or that wouldn't have an impact on those picks. But apparently now there's multiple teams that are very, very interested in playing in trading for Deshaun Watson this offseason. So that's going to be just like looming out there for months at a time, I think, because I don't think we're any closer to resolution on the legal matters, are we?
No, I don't think so. Although we haven't heard, so who knows? Who knows at this point?
Last I heard from Florio, I think he was saying it's going to take 2 years to sort this whole thing out. But a year of sucking at football for most NFL franchises is enough to overlook whatever fucked up thing you're accused of.
Yes, there's a lot of teams that could potentially want Deshaun Watson this offseason. Okay, you're over, Hank.
I will be betting the Jets plus 16.5. I will be rooting for the Jets. And another way to root for that is taking the over 41.5 in this game. If the Jets are going to win, you assume that over is going to hit, right? That's just logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Walk me through that.
Jets win. Well,
It's Zach Wilson off-platform bombs.
Got it.
if the Jets can score like 14 points, then that's going to cover because the Bills will either blow them out. This is a Jets bet. This is a pro Jets bet. If the Jets score 1 or 2 times, this can cover.
Okay.
41.5 is what you said?
Yeah.
All right, still there.
Okay, Liam, you're over.
I have Eagles Cowboys over 42.5.
Saturday night.
I had that. That was my first over as well. Keep that.
Gardner
mark that down.
Minshew.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's at
I saw it
43
Saturday
now.
night. It feels like
43.
Just feels like points.
This does feel like the perfect game for Gardner Minshew to go off in. Like a statement game for him where he's like, yeah, I deserve to be paid a lot of money.
But I also think the Cowboys, like, they want to not be losing going into the playoffs. I mean, obviously they don't want to be losing. That was dumb. But like, get a win before. You know what I'm saying?
And the NFC Beast.
Yeah, have some momentum going.
All right, PFT, you're over.
I got Colts Jags 44. Taking the over on that one.
Trevor Lawrence.
Reasoning?
Trevor Lawrence.
Because you want to lose?
Well, I mean, I could explain why I took this when I'm trying to lose, but I've already said, like, I want to, just like last week, I want to miss all these picks. So feel free to fade me. I'm taking the over, though. Colts Jags 44 points.
Okay, Billy, you're over.
The please don't fire me game, Bears Vikings 44.5. The coaches are going to try to
Both
keep
guys
their jobs.
probably getting fired. Yeah.
But they're
both
going to
guys
try to keep their jobs with the statement.
I'd agree.
And put up points.
I don't think Mike Zimmer wants to be coaching the Vikings next year.
I think I saw Justin Fields went into COVID protocol.
He
So,
did.
but there was a moment there where Matt Nagy could have made a first where Justin Fields was named the starter, and if Matt Nagy had won that game, this game Sunday, he would have been the first coach ever to win 3 straight games with 3 different starters.
Wow.
Which would have been hilarious. Yeah, greatest coach ever.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Like, you don't see that. In the NFL, it's all about the quarterback position. Matt
Right.
Nagy's a guy that can get it done with anyone.
3 different starters trying to prove it at the last second that he can do it with anyone.
Yeah, I don't think Mike Zimmer wants to be around next year. So that's where my hesitation with that one would come in. I think he wants to be fired. He wants to be fired already.
Yeah, he's tired of it. He's definitely tired of it. All right, my over, I'm doing Cardinals Seahawks over 48. I don't know, just a fun game. And I think Russell Wilson's definitely going to try to get stats.
48?
Like is it not?
48.
What is
48.
it? What did you think it
even
was,
better.
Hank? What did you think it
I
was?
thought I had 46 written down.
Oh, shit. I Russell Wilson's going to try to get stats. There's nothing else for the Seahawks to play for besides throwing it deep to DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jake.
I'm with Liam. Dallas, Philadelphia over 43.
Oh, so it's 43.
Yes, not 42.5.
Okay, Saturday night. We got some Saturday night action just to start figuring everything out. All right, we'll wrap up with our unders, Hank.
This is Card Seahawks. My reasoning is that today I had a different under, and then I was going through the Barstool Sports Advisors. You guys talked about this game. Stu gave a very passionate pitch on the under, and I'm riding with him. This is my Stu Feiner under of the year.
Under the year?
Yeah.
And you liked it at 46. You love it at 48.
Yeah, that's when you said 48. I was like, oh, even better.
So what goes into – are you just like riding Stu on this, or are you actually thinking?
No, that's what I said. I'm all over the place. I've just been looking for signs in different places, and it was one of those things. We go through the show. He makes 5 picks. There's 5 different games, and something stuck out with his passion, the way he talked about it. It just seemed like he knew something, and I'm riding with him. It's not like he always picks unders, so when he does, you got to take it.
There's certain games that stick in your head for a while, and the game that sticks in my head with this matchup is, I think it was Monday Night Football. It was a night, maybe Thursday night, a couple years ago when it was like that overtime game that was, I think, 6-9 or something like that, where every team kept missing field goals. Or was it a tie? It might have been the tie game.
Was that last year when Kyler got hurt?
No, this was several years ago where you had kickers missing all the short field goals at the end of the game in overtime too. I think it might have ended up in a tie. So even though these two teams can score points, every time I see them matched up, I always think under.
Love that. Love that for me.
October 23rd, 2016, 6-6 tie.
There we go, yeah.
Okay, you're under, Liam.
I'm going Giants football team under 38.
That's also my under.
Okay.
Smart
Okay.
pick. I think that's
Wait,
a smart pick.
what's the total?
Is it 38?
38.
Does that guarantee that
38.
Billy loses, basically?
So Billy was 2 behind Liam, so now Liam would have to lose out and Billy would have to win out. But me and Big Cat are technically, if we go 0-4, we can still catch Billy if he goes 4 now. So that's big for Liam, bad for Billy.
Oh,
Got it.
So we both have Jets.
Because if I went 1-3 and you went 3-1.
No, but I
But
think
you guys both have Jets, too.
No, I don't have the Jets.
Oh.
No. Billy and PFT have
No,
the
I
Jets.
took the 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're doing win probability here for loss probability, Billy is at like 90% that he's going
That
to
just
go.
went from it probably made it closer, but it doesn't lock anything in.
Doesn't lock in, but Billy's like, you're 90%.
I think if Big Cat goes 0-4 and I go 4-0
Yes.
Same with me.
Yeah.
I'm screwed.
You need either me, Liam, or Big Cat
to go
to
0-4.
lose every pick, except that one you guys have the same in.
Could definitely happen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, PFT, your last one under.
Bubba, I think that's a good pick, by the way. Football team Giants.
Thank you.
This is the
appreciate
Clown
that.
Franchise Bowl, which Joe Judge will not do any media calls to address the fact that he called the football team a clown show, which he's correct in, by the way, 100% correct, but also just kind of ignoring the fact that he has led the Giants to also become a clown franchise.
Glennon is not starting. Jake Fromm is. I would have been more confident if Glennon was starting on the under, but
Remember,
Jake Fromm's just there.
Jake Fromm got benched for Mike Glennon.
I know. So
Jake
it's gonna
Fromm
be
is technically worse than Mike Glennon.
But how many passing yards did he have the other day?
-10.
Yeah.
He did that cool ball spin. That's definitely why Billy likes him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also quite liable to get a fumble 6 against him.
True.
Yeah.
It feels like there's going to be some turn. That's going to be an ugly game. Congratulations to anyone that chooses to watch that. I apologize to everybody in the New York metropolitan area that is forced to watch that game on Sunday. I'm sorry about that. My under is going to be Chargers-Raiders. 49.5. Is that it?
Yeah.
49.5 under Chargers-Raiders.
Means it might all come down to Sunday night. Is that why you
It
did
all
it?
come down to Sunday night.
I actually, no, I wasn't thinking about that at all, but that is a fun little addition.
All right, I'm taking the Packers Lions under 44.5. TB12 versus Jordan Love. Just give me the under. And Jake, you're finishing us up.
Yes, the final pick of the year is going to be Browns, Bengals, under 37.5. I know Burrow's out. I believe Baker's out too, right?
Mixon too.
Yeah, so backups.
Yeah, there's some ugly games on Sunday. Some real ugly games.
Yeah.
Good luck betting week 18.
What do you think is going to happen with Baker this offseason? You think he's going to be traded?
I think he'll be. I think they'll bring him back because his 5th year. Like they might as well just roll the dice and see how he performs fifth year because he's already, you have him locked up if you want him to be.
Yeah.
Right?
He seemed, there was a report
haven't
that
they already
came
offered him? Have they already offered him the fifth year? Didn't they already have to do that?
I don't know if that's been offered or not yet. I think they probably have until March.
They exercise quarterback Baker Mayfield's fifth-year option, locking him up with the franchise through 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have to do that earlier. Right. So they'll keep him because what are you going to do? I mean, you're not going to be able to trade him, and you might as well see if he can do better.
I think some teams will make an offer for Baker Mayfield this offseason. I think they'll
Maybe.
at least take a couple phone calls. They might not do it because you're right. Having a guy that has been proven that at least he can be good when he's locked in, to have him at that price tag is probably a net benefit for the Browns, no matter what you think about him.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, anything else for Week 18? Good luck to everyone. This is a tough week to handicap, to bet, to do everything. Also, a reminder, if anyone ties, the tiebreaker is those 2 or even 3 guys go into Wild Card Weekend where they have to pick a spread or total on every single game. So all 6 games, you have to make one pick on every single game. That's the tiebreaker. And then if that gets tied
Should
again,
we have it be
we go to the
7
next.
total picks so there's no 3-3 ties situation? Like one game you have to pick a spread and
You can still tie if it's 7 total picks though.
Yeah, 'cause you
can both go 4 and 3.
If I tie, can I still
Right.
just go?
No. Actually, that's what you guys should have done to fuck me over. Be like, okay, PFT can't go. Like, flip it back and forth.
I said that. I said you'd have to take a flight and do a bunch of delays, and you got upset.
No, I'm saying, like, have it be force me to try to win to go.
I don't know. I'm lost at this point. I thought we'd just do a competition that we had for 16 weeks. It was going well.
I'm just being honest. That road tripping sounds like a lot, especially if it's to Dallas, which I actually don't think that the game's going to be played in Dallas. I think it's going to probably stay in Los Angeles, and unless it's a scenario where they like actually can't have the game, can't have fans in the game.
Yeah.
That's going to be what it takes to move it to Dallas.
Okay, so should we get to our interview? We've got a great interview with Ryen Russillo. Great interview, and then we'll do a Fyre Fest so we can send everyone on their way. PFT, you got a quick word from Coors Light?
Yeah, before we get to Ryen Russillo, Coors Light is back. Coors Light never left. It's made to chill. It's mountain cold refreshment. Got to reach for a Coors Light. If you feel like you're always on and you need a moment to chill, you got to hit the reset button. You got to get ready for what's next. These days, everything is go, go, go. It's nothing but nonstop hustle all the time. There's an expectation that you have to be on 24/7. I'm here to debunk that. You don't have to be on 24/7. You need a moment to turn off and hit reset. That's when you reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill. The only beer out there that's made to chill. Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans turn blue when your beer is cold. It's amazing. It's maybe the best piece of technology to ever happen to our fair country. The mountains turn blue. That way you always know when it's time to chill. Coors Light's made to chill. Cracking open a Coors Light is perfect on this last Week 18 of the NFL season. Going into Sunday night, you better believe it's time to crack open an ice-cold Coors Light. That's the one I choose when I need to unwind. When you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light and the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. CoorsLight.com/take.
Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend. It is Ryen Russillo. Been too long. We want to have Ryen on. We're going to do some NBA preview. We're going to talk a little football as well. Go subscribe to the Ryen Russillo podcast right now. Just so we can give some context, we're going to be running this on Friday. Today is January 5th. Do you have any big plans for tomorrow, Ryen?
Well, you know.
Okay, first real question.
I'm going to look at boats.
Yeah? You going to join a parade?
I was going to single file.
All right, so we do have you on to talk sports.
Okay.
NBA. Let's start with, is anyone beating the Lakers this year?
Look, I haven't watched any games yet because of football. But I'll tell you, just taking in the off season, there's two things I feel strongly about. and I'll have to go look this up later on, but I'm not as high in this Lakers team as everybody else is. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook, though, I mean, this guy is a generational talent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a problem. He's a problem. He's a walking bucket. We know that.
In all seriousness with the Lakers, though, because
so we're not doing this?
No, we won't do the whole
preview?
time.
Okay.
No, we won't. Yeah.
I was going to see how long we could go.
People
And
will
I'd
be
be
like,
like,
what the
I
fuck?
sneaky like the Bulls.
Yeah. I think DeMar DeRozan's going to be clutch for them.
All right, real talk. Go ahead.
Real talk. Lakers, real quick.
Yeah.
There's two lines of thinking. One, this team is a mess and it never will fit. Or two, Anthony Davis is hurt and LeBron's still LeBron, so never bet against them. Once the playoffs start, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think both can actually be right, by the way. They're one game over 500 now. They actually have the same record as the 5th seed, so they're there with Denver and Dallas, just percentage points behind as the day of taping this, right? LeBron's been on an absolute tear. They, like a lot of teams, have had to deal with a bunch of different things. But Anthony Davis, when he played, was arguably like the worst jump shooter in the league. Based on how many shots he was taking, where he was taking them from, and the lack of converting them. I mean, they were horrible, horrible stats. Like, there was one stat, it was like out of so many guys have taken 4 attempts, from this distance in the entire league, out of 108, he ranks 108th or something. I mean, they were terrible. And I don't know if he put on too much size. It's something Simmons and I have talked about a little bit too, where I feel like everybody called him a pussy last year. And you guys get sick of it. I can't imagine how mad I would be if I were a pro athlete and I turn on TNT and it's like everybody thinks I'm a pussy the whole time.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, all right, well, now I'm definitely lifting more. And I think he came back, and I think the bulk has actually slowed him down, and it just didn't work. So, I mean, I'd ask you this. If Anthony Davis were just, moderate levels of Anthony Davis, not a terrible version of him, which is what he's been so far this year, if he were healthy and a decent version of him, isn't that good enough for at least 5 more wins? And that would kind of put him in the 4 seed spot, all right? I don't think any of the teams outside of the top 3 in Utah, Phoenix, and Golden State, I don't think those 3 teams are going to get caught by any of the standings behind them. But the Westbrook part of this is why I can sound so annoying and repetitive, but it still happened again today. I watched something from ESPN. It was a former player. They were talking about all the great things Russ brings in, and I'm just like, how many fucking years do you have to watch this guy do the exact same thing that never leads to winning and think that it's just magically going to work out at some point? Like, most of us don't change. And a basketball player that's as stubborn as he is isn't going to change. So I liked Westbrook in the offseason to the Lakers for the regular season because LeBron, AD, Melo, the older guys, they were going to need to coast at times. Russell Westbrook's a great energy guy. But then in the playoffs, I go, it doesn't make any sense. He doesn't offer up any spacing for AD and LeBron. He's never set a screen in his fucking life. And, on top of it now, he's even a worse shooter and more turnover prone than before. So the Westbrook thing, the only way they solve it is by having AD and LeBron focus on what they do and hopefully them both being healthy at the end of the year, because I still think there's a chance. But Westbrook, I don't see basketball-wise how he's involved in that success because he's just not a good fit.
So would it have been a better fit if they had gotten someone who's like won a ton in his career and a bunch of rings like Chris Paul?
You guys froze.
Your son.
You love him like a son.
Wait a minute. You froze.
No, we
Chris
didn't
Paul.
actually freeze.
Oh,
We
no.
didn't actually freeze. Yeah.
No, you did. You froze. I got the Chris Paul joke now, though. Go ahead. Do you want to just tee it up again?
No, Chris Paul. You love Chris Paul.
I
Your
said,
comments.
My question was, would the Lakers be in a better spot if they had a guy who has a bunch of rings and a bunch of winning pedigree like Chris Paul?
Yeah, no, I get that the Westbrook people, because Westbrook can't get out of the first round, other than the time they beat the Thunder when it was Chris Paul on the other side of it. But Chris Paul, his exits in the playoffs are because of injury, not stubbornness.
Got it.
All right, go through all the years where he and Blake lost. One of those guys was always hurt. So when I see a lot of these things about Paul, like not being able to win, like I actually think these things are malleable. Like you can go, wait a minute, is this guy not getting out of the first round because of him, or is it because of other circumstances? This is not being hypocritical. These are just facts. Look them up.
I think that
look
Westbrook,
at who was available.
Westbrook just has a branding problem. If he was in football, they'd call him a gunslinger. Like you saw him after the game when he was saying, "I'm allowed to turn the ball over. It's part of my game. I'm allowed to miss shots. It's part of my game." I think that they're like that. Obviously, got taken as a quote that was splashed everywhere. But there's some element of truth to it. But it's like how much can you limit Russell Westbrook being Russell Westbrook? Because if you can even cut that down 20-30% in the playoffs, then he might be able to figure it out. Who knows?
No, I already know. The answer is no. Why is he just going to – like, this is what's insane to me. And again, PFT, you didn't play in the league, unfortunately. We
Not
know
like
your story.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm talking about the people that played in the league that still will go on TV being like, little trim here, a little shave here off of this corner. Be like, no, this is who he is. And it's what got him to this point because he was a kid that didn't have a lot of offers out of high school. He was a guy at UCLA. They were like, we don't really even know what to do with this guy. And how when he got drafted, I remember talking to Carlissimo about it because he and Presti were arguing. Carlissimo wanted them to take Brook Lopez. And Presti was like, I think we got something like really special, like another level. I think Westbrook's the best athlete I've ever seen play basketball, ever. Okay, I think he's the best athlete I've ever seen play basketball. But there is a buy-in for the 38 minutes that you're out there or whatever that you have to pay attention. And this is why I just laugh because I'm like, I didn't play, I didn't coach, but I noticed his shit. And guys that did it for a living can't even see it. He off the ball in huge spots defensively almost always fucks up. Almost always. I could pick the next game they're on. I'll just wait until it's close at the end, and I'll see him miss somebody in a rotation just because he decides, like, I'm just going to spaz out and do this. Those mistakes, to me, are worse than just an ill-advised 3 or a long 2 off the side of the backboard. So I don't know why anybody thinks it's just going to change because I think, unfortunately, the curse of Russ is that his personality got him here, but his personality is what prevents him ever finding a way to adapt to the things that are around him. And I'm sorry, but when I talk to people about it and they start telling me like how it can all work and a little this, a little that, or LeBron will get them to listen to all this stuff, I don't really want to listen to that person talk about basketball anymore.
Okay, so this interview's over.
Well, it sounds like Ryan is really mad at somebody in particular.
Who?
You got real mad earlier.
The name.
Big
Say
mad.
the name.
Ryan, big mad when you were like, he's just not gonna fucking change, all right?
Say it. Who is it?
Because It's everybody. It's everybody that either coached in the league or played in the league, and they're afraid to say the truth. Because if I'm at home, again, who never played a game anyone cared about, they can figure out in the Patty Mills thing, be like, why did you just lose Patty Mills in a switch for no fucking reason? It's because you couldn't help yourself. You're like, I'm going to help. I'm going to break our assignments. Patty Mills has only made like 7 threes tonight, and I'll just let him, like, that shit happens every night. It happens multiple sessions.
Sounds like he's got ADD. Sounds like you're shaming him for a learning disability.
Well, now I feel bad.
Yeah.
Now you take it all back. All right. Biggest free agent acquisition, Klay Thompson or Kyrie Irving? I love whenever we frame guy coming back from injury as, you know who actually won free agency?
This is the old Kevin White.
Yeah, the Warriors. Yeah, the Warriors did because they got Klay back.
I know. I hate when guys used to do that. You like have a segment built out. Be like, well, the biggest acquisition at the trade deadline is Klay.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, cool. No one's ever thought of that tricky way
so
to get into it.
Who wins more right now, Klay?
Because Klay, it's not even close. Clay's a better player, and Clay's more dependable, and Clay's available for all games, and he's not banned for half of them.
It's such a funny situation
fine.
in the Nets are in. It's like, guess what, guys? We're back. Kyrie's coming back to play with us on a limited basis.
Yeah.
Until he feels like such a time where he can join the team on a full-time basis. So until Kyrie Irving is allowed to play in the state of New York, then I don't know if you can really say like he's going to make that much of a difference.
I think the whole thing is like, Kyrie barely plays full seasons anymore. He was one of the voices that was like, we should just do our own thing, start our own league guy. He's your friend that hangs out at the beach and looks at the horizon and goes, can't believe people think this shit's round. And I'm not even talking about his flat earth joke that he then later on, by the way, said was an experiment to try to see how we would react to it, which sounded very much like his vaccination status in that it wasn't that he was anti-vax, it's that he wanted to be a voice for the voiceless because they were trying to figure out some sort of PR spin as everybody's like, fuck this guy for a couple of weeks. And they were like, no, actually we're doing this for the waitresses out there. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, all right, word.
Facts.
I feel bad for Nash in a way, even though, he was kind of gifted a championship caliber team here. So you can't feel bad for him there. But this has to be getting old pretty quickly in only his second season.
Yeah.
Where, they were like, look, this is even about the owner, too. The owner visited with Kyrie before the season started, said, hey, when you have a championship caliber team, there's some buy-in here that we have to have. And so let's talk to you and educate you on everything you need to know so that you're all comfortable. But this needs buy-in from everyone around. And he was like, nah, fuck that. I'm just going to post weird shit on Instagram instead. So when he was available for road games because of the city ordinance, the team's like, no, No. So the funny thing is he still's going to make half of his $33 million because they have to pay him for the games that they've banned him from on the road games, even though he's ineligible for home games. Mm-hmm. All right. So then we're at this point where he returns this week and you go, oh, all right, wait a minute. Like Nash and the team are probably like, look, if we have guys that are like borderline G League players and the whole thing's a mess now with Omicron anyway, we might as well just bring them back and have him be a part of the mess. And the thing is, knowing Kyrie and his skill set, he'll probably come out and it won't matter. And then that team's scary again. So I think basketball-wise, it makes sense.
When you were just talking about this, a thought popped in my head. What is the link between Kevin Durant and Kyrie? Because on the surface, they do seem like completely opposite people in the fact that I think Kevin Durant is the number one guy who's like loves basketball. Anything he ever says, whenever he wants to play all the time, he is truly in love with basketball. Even when he's like critiquing like 14-year-old kids on Instagram, calling their moves trash. Like that's coming from a place of like love. You know what I mean? He actually loves the game to a level I think a lot of guys don't. Kyrie, maybe not. Like he doesn't, he's okay not playing. So how do those two guys, like just on a relationship level, fit?
It's such a good question, dude. I'm serious. Like I think about this. Yeah. Don't you love when guys in interviews and it's like they don't really have an answer and they stall and they're like, great question.
Yeah. They're not stalling though. They're always actually genuinely complimenting their questions.
Yes.
It might not happen to you that much, but for us, experienced interviewers.
But it's fascinating. I don't know why it took me this long to just think about it. It was you explaining Kyrie like not playing a lot of full seasons. And
it's because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. That's why it's so interesting, because you're right. KD is all about hoops. Hoop all the time. And by the way, we should do something. We should all send basketball clips, DM Kevin Durant right now. Let's make this a thing from now on. If you're just taking jumpers, you're trying to get wet out back, send that, DM that video to Kevin Durant and let him know that you love hoop too.
That's how I initially started talking to him. I did an Instagram video.
Look at this guy.
No, I did an Instagram video of a pickup hoops game that I was playing in, and he out of the clouds responded in DM saying, "Get this trash off my court."
Wow.
So he loves hoops.
He loves hoops, but I think the fact that he even has that in him, like, can you imagine other NBA superstars like taking the time to do something like that? And so the fact that he would be like, "No, I'm hitching my wagon to Kyrie," it never made any sense while it was happening. Guys that kind of knew the deal with Kyrie, and look, I'll tell you this about Kyrie: the guys that really know what's up are actually more like. They're less critical because they hope he kind of sifts his way through whatever it is that he's going through. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, hey, if you love hoop, and Kyrie's like, oh man, I love hoop. How could you ever take this away from me? Rod Strickland, who's his godfather, right? Rod Strickland, who was an absolute motherfucker of a guard. All right, he said, Kyrie might be the most talented player ever, and people crushed him for it. When in fact, like when you really put all the talent parts of Kyrie together, his handle, his shot making, the difficult shot making that is an acceptable shot for Kyrie, all of the stuff that he can do, wrong foot, wrong hand, all that. Like, it's actually not crazy to talk about him being actually one of the most gifted basketball skill people that we've ever seen. Now, would I want him to be the face of my franchise? Of course not, because you just don't know what you're betting on. And the fact that Durant would be like, okay, I'm down for this for like the next 4 years in my prime championship window or extending my prime championship window never made any sense. Now, for people that say, hey, he turned down the most stable thing ever and the most selfless teammate of all time of the superstars and maybe Steph Curry, but KD couldn't fuck with it because it was like, this is all still Steph's. It happened before I got here. They won the title before me. They played in the finals before I got here. I got my titles. I had fun playing basketball. But if I want my own thing, I got to get away from Steph. But the fact that he did it with Kyrie, I can't explain it, but people seem to love him. Like, ask Blake next time you have him on. Not Bortles. But when I asked somebody who's close with Blake Griffin, I go, why is he going to the Nets? He's like, dude, he loves Kyrie.
Yeah.
These guys love him.
I think if you're that talented at anything, so with Kevin Durant, he's better than everybody, right? He's probably the best player in the NBA right now.
I agree with that.
Best player in the world right now. But there are things that Kyrie Irving can do that Kevin Durant cannot do. And if you're that good and you see somebody able to do things that even you can't do, even though you're the best, I think there's like an inherent level of respect where you want to be around that guy.
Yeah, that might be it, because there was a clip that was out with the Knuckleheads guys, Darius and Quentin, where they had Durant on and they were asking about like just what's it like being around Kyrie, and Durant couldn't even get his thoughts out clearly.
Yeah.
Like he's just shaking his head. He's like, man, we'll be doing shit where it isn't like part of the practice, where he just goes off and does something on his own. And you look at some of the stuff he does. So that might be it. It might be just being in awe. But here's what I would say to Kevin Durant if I were really close with him, prior to this decision, which already happened, but then also influencing whatever decision I make moving forward. It's like, is this the guy that you want as your number 2? Or, whatever his ranking would be with the Harden part of it there as well, as Harden still can't get back into shape. Like you only have so many years left. So at what point will you look at your window saying, I need some guys to ride with that I am like 100% sure of where their head is at when it comes to basketball? Because you're right, Big Cat. Durant, it's never a question about how much he cares about basketball and being part of a team. And despite what on paper could be a champion, I still think if the Nets were healthy last year, they would have beat everybody.
Yeah.
I don't really know how there's much debate to it. So maybe it still works out despite how frustrating it's been the whole time. But I would have to think Durant in some private moments is going, if I have, X number of years left in this whole deal, do I still want it to be with guys that don't seem to be as locked in as I am? Which I think is a completely fair question to ask, and surprising if he never did.
What about the other big addition that they're going to make in free agency, which is your other favorite player, Joe Harris, the best catch and shoot player in the NBA playoffs for the first 2 rounds? That's going to be a pretty big piece of the puzzle, right?
Look, I like Joe Harris going back to college.
Yeah, no, we do too.
Yeah, we've had him on the show.
I don't want to give you shit for the take that you had about him, but I will say that you might have cursed him last year, because ever since you said that he's like the best shooter in the NBA, then he just kind of took a nosedive.
You sure that was me? I wouldn't say anybody's better than Steph.
We're having you on just to roast your takes, if you haven't figured that out.
Oh, all right.
I don't remember.
Joe Harris.
I remember we had Kirk Goldsberry.
Oh, it was Kirk Goldsberry. Yeah,
he's got COVID brain still.
I do. I
knew it wasn't me.
No,
I just wanted to see where this is going.
I got long fog.
Kirk Goldsberry came on the show, and we talked about how the Nets are like so insane offensively, and then Joe Harris never hit a 3 after that. The Kyrie point, though, I still remember we went to it was the game that PFT actually lost his wallet in the Cleveland Cavs arena. We went to, I think it was like Celtics-Cavs game 4 or 5-ish in 2017 when he scored 42, and he scored like 18 in a row. And we were just sitting there with our jaws on the floor because every shot was insane. Every layup was insane. And it was like, this guy can just do whatever he wants. So he's an incredible player.
He's the best small finisher I've ever seen at the rim. I've never seen anyone like him at his size consistently beat guys in the way. Again, people will be like, "Oh, what about Iverson?" I'm like, look it up. Look up. Iverson had a 2 or 3 year stretch where it was crazy. It's AI, but Kyrie consistently, whether it's showing it and taking it away from you, crazy angles of release, understanding all that. I'm not even people could be like, "Oh, you're from Boston, you don't like Kyrie." I didn't like watching it at the end because that team was so full of themselves and they weren't that good. And he's a tough guy to sign up for every night. But if we're just talking pure basketball skill, it isn't crazy, I don't think, to put Kyrie up there with everybody else. It's just a different conversation. We're just talking about hey, well, does that make him top 10 of all time? Well, no, that's not what we're doing. We're just talking strictly about the skill stuff. And you're right.
Yeah.
He has stretches where you're just like, you have to be fucking kidding me.
And the spins that he puts on his shots too. He'll switch hands at the last second in midair. And then he'll put side spin on a shot as it goes up to the glass, behind his neck, and somehow be able to perfectly bank it off and in. It's crazy. I actually do think that people would think he was a witch if it was the 1800s and they saw him playing basketball. They'd be like, this is not
basketball
human.
wasn't invented then.
Yeah, that's why they think he was a witch.
Yeah, but what game are you playing right now?
What do you think would be the weirdest time travel situation of I think boxing. We talked about this with Chris Long. But if you just went in a time machine and all right, let's find a heavyweight who'd be 185, and he would just sit there with his fists upside down and just kind of doing that and then you just went in militant style against him, they'd be like, who the fuck is this guy?
I still think it'd be like taking Reggie White to 1925. Could you imagine? He'd just throw the entire offensive line.
Yeah, that would be all right. Reggie White, yes. I was just talking random guy, but
Aaron Donald
I think
playing against Yale in 1902.
Mine is if Eddie House played in the 1950s, we would have Eddie House documentaries and specials, and Eddie House he'd be up there with Mikan.
What if you took like Aroldis Chapman back to 1881?
Babe Ruth was trash.
I don't like the Babe Ruth is trash stuff.
I know he took away his pinstripes. Did you see that
Dude,
swing and a miss
sucked.
that he had?
He sucked.
Awful player.
It is that line of like you can understand. You're absolutely right. Like basketball has come in such a way that you watch highlights from 1950 or 1960. You're like, these guys aren't that good. But
do you think you could score when you watch those highlights?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Sometimes
the ones where they're just like dribbling the ball straight up and down and just. They're kind of like pivoting around the ball. They're not even moving the ball.
I think the other problem is if Eddie House went in a time machine, they'd call him for a carry the first 7 times he had the basketball. So they'd be like, wait a minute. That was always Jerry West's big thing. He's like, you can't even, he goes, the way you don't call carrying. I mean, I like Giannis, and it's back to your earlier point, PFT. Like, I agree with you on Durant being better than Giannis if we're going best player in the world, even though Giannis, got him last year, sort of. Because I just think it's still crazy how we would be talking about Giannis and the Bucks and whether or not Bud would even be there if Durant's foot is behind the line, because he was doing that with a couple guys down. I think from a basketball standpoint, like as much as we can all love Giannis, and I love Giannis. I love that Giannis has the personality, and this is one of the things like when it comes up with Ben Simmons, like this is back to like my Westbrook where you sort of expose yourself, where somebody's like, well, if you just took Ben Simmons and turned him into the Giannis thing, it'd be fine. It'd be like, if you've been watching Ben Simmons and Giannis this much and you can't tell the difference between their mentality when they walk onto a basketball court, then I can't fucking help you, okay? So I love that part of Giannis so much. But then if you were to watch Giannis and Durant just play basketball and go, wait, I'm supposed to think this guy's better than the guy Durant who can dribble and is just like has the same height and can shoot like this off the dribble? Like, I wouldn't do that, would I? And honestly, this turns into the only people that would think we're crazy are the people that are from Milwaukee who are Bucks fans, and they're emotionally attached to the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So, what was the point again?
No, you just agreed. I agree as well. I think Kevin Durant's the best in the world, and I know LeBron. This is just rat poison for LeBron.
Can you?
Oh, it's Giannis carries the basketball.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, so they should call that.
But everybody kind of does.
Can you fix if we put Ben Simmons on a psychology couch in your bedroom? There is that a bedroom? What is that? A futon?
Yeah, this is a futon. You can have friends over, you watch TV, and then if things work out, you sleep over.
Cool. All right. So if Ben Simmons was on your futon, hanging out, listening to Van Halen with you, how would you fix whatever's going on inside Ben Simmons' head?
I don't even know. First of all, we all know he wouldn't listen to me, right? So let's start there.
Well, you've already given up, so you have a Ben Simmons personality. Maybe you got to be who he is.
I think you have
to fix him. You got to mimic his personality. So good job so far.
You got to hug him right when he walks in the room. He needs somebody that'll hug him, I think. Just show him that
it's crazy.
He's supported and loved.
Like, what's going to happen? It's crazy. You've never seen someone demand a trade when they have been the problem.
Yeah, and he had 4 years left on the deal. It's like this was why, from the beginning of the Ben Simmons stuff, I'd go, you realize this is a little different.
Yeah.
Like this is, because people were starting to cover it like, all right, well, I wonder where he's going to go. And at first he had some destinations that he would have liked to have gone to, particularly in California.
Yeah.
We could probably rule out Sacramento.
Yeah.
And I would talk to different people, and I'd be like, wait, he thinks he's going to be able to call his shots while having 4 years left on the deal,
and not taking a shot in the playoffs,
yeah, and
layup.
Sucking at basketball,
Yeah.
I think, is probably another big factor that goes into that.
Yeah.
Right. Just be like, imagine it's the fourth quarter. He was like, I don't want to go outside.
Do you think that he's the best player in the world if there was no hoop in basketball?
He'd be unbelievable. First team.
Yeah. He really would.
Yeah,
be.
first team.
It's just I don't know what's going on in his head. He's afraid of baskets. So you have to do some sort of immersion therapy where you just put baskets all around his apartment or his house. And just every time he looks at one, you give him a treat.
Yeah, his door is a basket, so he has to walk in and out of it every day.
But it has to be, the shot clocks have to be simultaneously linked to start at 3 seconds. So every time, he doesn't have time to think.
Right.
I'll tell you, there's one shot from Ben Simmons, it's a couple years ago, where I remember it specifically because of just how smooth it looked. It was the end of the shot clock. He had no choice. He had to get the shot up, and he did like a turnaround baseline jumper, and it went in. And it was terrific. And it was because he wasn't thinking about any of this stuff. And unfortunately, this is true for anybody. I mean, this is why I don't like when people say, "Oh, well, the studies say that there's no such thing as clutch." I'm like, okay, but if there's no such thing as clutch, do we agree that some guys lining up a certain putt start to feel a little different, or free throw starts to feel a little different, or certain guys are comfortable in tight spots and other guys aren't? So if that exists, then I believe clutch exists. And for Ben Simmons, it can be a really hard thing to dig yourself out of. And clearly, it's going to start somewhere else. I don't think he cares about where he goes now. It might be a bit like the Favre thing where Favre wanted to go to Minnesota so bad he went to the Jets first. And Simmons may be like, look, I'll do anything. Like, just throw me anywhere, and then they'll figure it out on the next step. Because he just needs to start feeling comfortable out on a basketball court again. So I am sympathetic to some of it because it was really weird to watch somebody completely fall apart mentally in the playoffs like that.
Yeah.
Like, this guy won't go. He will not go near the rim or even attempt at the rim because he's so petrified of getting fouled and having to shoot free throws. He just is over it. He's not going to do any of this stuff anymore. But then again, it's like, all right, yeah, but you had – you signed a max deal for 4 years. It's not all on Philadelphia that you never developed as part of your game. And, spare us the Instagram workout videos where it's like, oh, here you are again, LA Fitness, pulled up, you hit a 3 at lunch. Awesome.
That was
What about,
three.
do you know anything about the metaverse? What if you put them in some of those Oculus glasses?
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
That ad, is that supposed to get me pumped with those kids at the museum?
I think so.
What's that supposed to do?
I think it's supposed to change the world. That's as much as I know about it. Billy talks about it all the time. I don't understand it, but I do think that you can.
That's a tall task.
You can put like Oculus glasses on him and then just run programs of him seeing all of his shots go in. If he had to do that for 12 hours at a time for a week, I'm sure just seeing enough of your shots going in would give you a little bit of confidence.
This feels like Clockwork Orange therapy that all PFT is bringing up here.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You want to haze him into becoming a shooter.
No, but all of his
all
shots
I want
go
him
in.
to do,
Yeah.
right. All I want him to be is a 5, like a stretch 5 sort of point guard. I want no big, because that's the other thing that sucks about the whole matchup and why Sixers fans are wrong about this forever. And the reason they were wrong is that they'd be rooting against their current roster. But even at the best version of Philadelphia, the ideal version was to never have these two guys playing with each other. Like, it's actually the worst combination of, hey, and anybody that disputes this, I'm going to explain it to you really quickly. Joel's the best post offensive player probably in the game today, other than Sengun, maybe.
Frank Kaminsky.
Another worthy adversary. Like, hey, what pairs well with that? Oh, a huge point guard that can't shoot and will never shoot.
Right.
Yeah, definitely that. Definitely that. Like, okay, who's Ben Simmons? All right, well, what would be the best thing for him? Ball in his hands all the time, wide open floor, surrounded by shooters, nobody in the way. All right, well, let's stick the best post. Like, it just anybody that argued against it, even if the Toronto series and all the shit, like, hey, could it have possibly worked out? Could they back their way into a final or something like that? Yeah, sure, fine, over time. I just want to see Ben Simmons playing in a system now where he at least just feels comfortable. Because however mad you may be at him, I don't want his entire career derailed from this, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Sorry, Big
He
Cat,
needs like the Dwight Howard magic. He needs to just be shooters everywhere and let him be in the post because he's not going to do. You're right. He's never going to shoot, so he needs full space in the paint, no other big man, and shooters everywhere. And I actually think
he needs Draymond. He needs a Draymond approach, but he doesn't have Draymond's personality, and that's always the mistake with him.
Well, very few people do. I mean, Draymond's like one of one kind of guy.
Tougher roommate, Kyrie or Draymond? Beach House.
Oh, Beach House, Draymond.
Oh, I think Kyrie. I think Draymond. Draymond seems like he'd get the best out of everyone. It would be tough for a little bit, but then you just be like hit a spot where you're just having the best parties. Everyone's getting along.
I think Draymond would be an awesome Beach House roommate in your early 20s. Kyrie, great Beach House roommate in your late 20s. When you want to chill out a little bit, he's always got the mushrooms.
I think Kyrie could throw a banger though at like 4 a.m, right in your face. And he's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, he just doesn't live by the normal time.
Right.
He's like
constructs. Yeah,
hours are hours, man.
Also, Draymond, you know who the alpha dog is. Like, it's good to have one guy kind of in charge at a beach house, right? He would be the guy.
It's not an easy answer because, with Draymond, if you were like, hey, I want pizza tonight, you'd be like, I told you we're getting fucking wings.
Right.
And it would be like, he wouldn't think there'd be any more discussion. And you'd be like, come on, dude. Can't we get pizza once? And I don't think Draymond's ever going to give in. Where Kyrie would be like, I want you to make a decision that makes you feel better about all of your decisions. So you'd be like, hey, that's super easy.
Yeah.
But then Kyrie it might be nude week.
Right. Right. Or vegan week.
Like,
yeah. Right.
Right. And you're like, wait, that's my mom's couch. Like, she let us have it for the summer. Can you throw some drawers on? And Kyrie'd be like, why would your mother want to constrict anything about my life?
I could see Draymond also just wanting to set off fireworks every night. He does it for the first time on the 4th, and everybody's like, this is awesome. That was legendary. Draymond went out and got $2,000 worth of fireworks. Awesome. And then it's July 5th, and he's like, I got $5,000 tonight. Because
if it's in your 20s, you want Draymond, because people would be like, you can't mess with those guys in that house.
Right. That's also true.
Draymond's a better
little
roommate.
edge. All right, we've gone this long. This is obviously biased, but I do think the Bulls 35 games in are the best story in the NBA, just because no one thought they were going to be the 1 seed right now, and they're playing great basketball. What's the ceiling?
Maybe an Eastern Conference Finals. I love watching him play. I love the story. I was wrong about him. And I think to this point, clearly I've been wrong about the DeRozan contract. We'll see, when you're giving $85 million to a guy who's 32, where there were a lot of stats that told you, like, yeah, he puts up some numbers, but what is he really? And now he's incredible. It's weird. I looked at some 538 database they have. They have this metric where basically they kept track of everything since the merger. So we're looking at 3,527 players that they've tracked with this metric. There's only 5 players that hit their career peak at a later age in their career than what DeRozan just did. Ironically, Lowry's the other one this year, which speaks to kind of my frustration with Toronto and people revisiting what that team was. They kept losing in the playoffs all the time because DeRozan wasn't very good. He wasn't.
Right.
And, they didn't trade him because he wasn't good. They traded him because they got a chance to get Kawhi Leonard, and it completely worked out. And then Kawhi used to have these numbers that looked good. He started getting more assists in the Spurs system. And then there were some weird plus-minus numbers, guys, where you would put it together collectively and be like, wait, so you're telling me in the aggregate they're better with this guy on the bench all the time? So I remember I was going to vote for him for something, and I was talking to some other people. Again, I don't have like a real vote that matters, so it doesn't matter. But I was like, God, that's such a weird thing. Like, so just over the course of a couple seasons, the team's better when you're not on the floor. Like, that's fucking crazy, even though he's a really good scorer. We know that. But what he did is he started changing into kind of instead of the long twos, he did shorter long twos. And I'd imagine with the shot chart, like, he's never shot it this well. He was at 15%, 26 and 26% from three the previous 3 years. Now he's at like 37 or something with Chicago. I think it may have been cutting down on certain things he's doing. So the DeRozan story is incredible, but it is still a little unlikely.
Yeah. No, it is.
Go ahead.
Like, the NBA is very hard to kind of wrap your head around sometimes, because you have to admit that to win a title you need one of the top 5 guys, right? Like, you just do. You can't win a title.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it sucks. It's like not having a quarterback week 1. You're like, all right, we're going to tackle guys for the next 17 weeks, but whatever.
Right, and so the Bulls don't have a top 5 guy in the league. But it's
probably even worse to your point, by the way.
Right,
so
but what AK, the GM, did is essentially say, listen, we're going to try to change what people perceive the Chicago Bulls as right now. We're going to build around Zach LaVine, which I think a lot of GMs would be like, that's crazy. He's clearly not like the best guy on a championship team. But every move he's made has helped Zach be better. Getting Vooch, which people didn't like, getting DeRozan, getting Lonzo, like all these moves. I don't know if they're probably not a championship team. They probably won't ever be a championship team. But it's a lot of fun to watch them play, and people are now looking at the Bulls differently. And I think that's the only thing you can do instead of sitting around and waiting for the first pick in the draft and having that guy be the most incredible player in the league in 5 years and also want to stay. So I love what they've done. I just think that it's a fun team to watch, and I'm also realistic knowing that the chances are they probably won't win a title with this team.
It is a great point that is not given enough credit all the time. There's this obsession, and I remember when I was covering the Celtics, and I would work on the Celtics TV station forever, and when I was younger, I was convinced, the weird thing about being younger is you just haven't been around long enough to realize how wrong you're going to be so many times. So when you're younger and you're in the business, and I'm like, oh, that move's stupid, and this doesn't mean a championship and whatever. And I remember Bob Ryan was like, who cares? He's like, how about just being better? How about instead of every deal being judged on, well, that's not going to win you a championship, how about just make the roster better? Be more competitive. I don't know, win more games. And he just laid into me and I love Bob Ryan. And it kind of changed the way I thought, because I was like, you know what? He's right. And sure, we had a third of the league tanking before the season even started because it was like stupid to even try and compete. And I get to like, hey, you had a run. Oklahoma City's in their tanking window. They're trying to put it together. Hinkie ended up losing his job because he was so unapologetic about it and so like vulgar in his process. And he just wasn't good at playing the game. But Chicago just looked at it and said, okay, who are we? We made some major investment into Vooch. We like who he could be when we're healthy. But if we add Zoe, we add DeRozan, we keep him around LaVine, so now LaVine doesn't feel like he has to close out every game offensively, which forced him into some bad decisions. They pick off Caruso because the Lakers brass, I think the story there was that Pelinka, he wasn't really a Pelinka guy, so they were okay moving on from him, which is a huge mistake, as we've seen now what Caruso brings to your team. So I give the Bulls a ton of credit for just going, hey, dude, all we want to do is just be better.
Right.
Because this playing game stuff, like, this is ridiculous. So going into it, I didn't know if we'd be better. I'm still worried about how they match up with a Giannis or Durant in a playoff game because of the personnel. Not even having a Patrick Williams. Who knows? Maybe it'll be an option. That's still asking a hell of a lot of a guy who's played very little basketball. I still worry about, Vooch, even though I love who he is, this big, who can shoot. And the numbers aren't the same as they were in Atlanta because he has less opportunity. But will he be a big that can get a little exposed maybe at times? And then what are your options? So there are certain matchup option things with the playoffs. But think about this. If this is where we're at in December and January of this season, based on where I was after they gave DeRozan $85 million, and I'm like, hey, I don't know if they're going to be any good. Like, I like a couple of their guys. They should probably be good enough to be in the play-in game. To now they're sitting there at the 1 seed, even if I like Brooklyn and I like Milwaukee better than them. Like, that's incredible. That in itself is a big accomplishment. And those accomplishments, those steps in the NBA are almost never given credit.
Right.
And so that's why I think everybody should feel great about this. And I don't want to come on being like, because there's another side of this too, where it's like, oh, you don't think they can win a title? I'm like, can you guys chill out?
Yeah, no, the not a title part is just the realistic, like I said. If you look at the history of the NBA, if you don't have a top 5 guy, who is it? The Pistons?
I was going to say that's the last team, and they just had some of the 4 of the best defenders in the NBA at the time.
Right, like it's just the reality of it, and I understand the reality of it. And when you play in a series, usually the team with the best player in the series is going to win out. So I know the Bulls are up against it. I just think that they deserve a ton of credit for changing what was. I mean, Ryan, you have a ton of people that you talk to in like the league. Chicago was a place that everyone looked at was like, that place is so dysfunctional. Why would I ever go there? You have to change that somehow. And this has started the change. And it can happen. You can change that perception pretty quickly with a couple seasons that have winning basketball.
Yeah, and when you looked at the DeRozan deal by itself, like, it was a pick in the sign and trade to give him $85 million, and then it kind of turns into like, hey, who are you actually competing against? But again, I don't know. We can be unfair with that too.
Right.
It's like, oh, so every single fucking transaction that didn't go down? Like, that's not realistic. I know I don't. I'm talking about maybe guys that, have to be on the line with all of these people. I just think when you look at it and you started to watch him play, you go, what's cool about this is that Zoe trusts, Lonzo's a deferential player.
Right.
As talented as he is, he's I don't know if it's the younger brother or the dad, but they drained the alpha out of him. No,
he's perfect for Zach LaVine.
But but it works.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so you've got LaVine, who's probably, where his decision making was to where it is now is a massive improvement. Are there still going to be, a couple times here or there, but I don't care, because it used to be so bad. I was like, I don't know how you close with him in your lineup. And you want to talk athleticism? I was talking about Westbrook. LaVine has movements where you go, wait, what did he just do? Like 9 other guys are stopped, and LaVine's doing something where he's reacting in a way that the other 9 guys haven't even processed. That's how special he is. So when I see them, I'm like, what's cool is there's no pressure for the 3. It's, hey, whoever we feel like we want to get going, we all trust each other enough. In a very short amount of time, you could see this, guys, with this team. Where I was just a couple weeks in, I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, they're all cool, deferring. And, even though Zach probably is a guy that doesn't want to defer a lot based on his style of play, I got to imagine, like, he's looking at an LA guy and DeRozan and going, all right, this is somebody I used to watch. And I know Zach's from a different part of the country, but you could just see it. You could see it play out that there's a real buy-in for a group that's together for a very short amount of time. That doesn't happen that often. And I also think this has to happen, and it's why there's other younger teams that are struggling. But you need to get over yourself in the NBA at some point. You do. And the best example I can ever give you is that 2007-08 Celtics team. Is you'd already had Pierce getting his ass kicked. Garnett can't get out of the first round. Ray Allen's coming off an ankle injury, and they can't win any playoff games. And so they'd been through it enough, almost 10 years, where, like, individually, it didn't happen for us. So I now need to be kind of over it in a very unselfish way. And there are teams you can see right now, it's like, now these guys they're not over themselves yet. And I think Chicago has a little of that, where DeRozan's like, what do I have left to prove? Like, of course I can score. Let's start winning some games. And I think Levine's like, it's not fun is scoring 40 and never winning games. And Lonzo's now been on, 3 teams in a very short amount of time. So I do think, and even Vooch too, cool, I put up 20 and 12 and hit threes with Orlando, and we're one of the worst teams in the East. I think you have a group of guys there personality-wise where I think it's playing out as if, hey, we already know what we're capable of, but we're kind of over it in a very good sense of the word, a team, right. Which sounded like, it sounded like a Disney movie there at the end. But
I also think that the Bulls are well on their way to becoming the favorite team in the playoffs of all the dads out there. You play the game. These guys play the game the right way. It's teamwork. It's not hero ball out there. Or the guy who might not be the biggest NBA fan in the world, but just hates the fact that there are superstars, that superstars exist. The Bulls are going to be a team that.
Why do dads? What do dads hate the most? Dads hate superstars, right? They hate traveling.
Traveling carries, actually. My dad, it took him a long time to be able to admit that Allen Iverson was good at basketball.
They love post moves. They don't like.
You're a dad.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
you're a dad
too. Post moves. Yeah.
Bounce pass, chest passes.
Chest passes.
Chest bounce passes specifically.
But if a chest pass doesn't work, a bounce pass after is awesome.
Layups off the right foot, good picks. All that stuff.
They love kids staying in school.
Yeah, kids staying in school. Oh, you want to talk opt-outs real quick?
The power dribble. They like the power dribble. Two-handed layups where their hands hit the backboard.
Yeah.
No, you know what they love with two hands? Catching flies.
Yeah, you trap it.
Oh, following your shot is number one, actually.
And the funniest thing is following your shot in the NBA is like the dumbest thing you could do.
Yeah, because you just you get them to have transition on your face every single time. But it's every time, like, I'll just be like, oh shit, he followed his shot well there. As they like run,
the ball bounces over their head and it's rebounded by the guy who's standing where you.
Larry Bird, the book Drive. It was like, I think it was one of his first practices with the Celtics. So I might have the timeline wrong, but Bird takes a shot and follows it. Red Auerbach's like, you don't follow your shot in this league, man.
Hey, don't. Warriors, are they going to win the title?
Wait a minute, opt-outs?
Oh, you want to do opt-outs? No, we all agree on opt-outs.
Do we?
I think we do.
We hate them. We think that kids that opt out should be
they
arrested.
Don't like. They're anti-football pussies, is what I think we've said.
Herb Street had to do like 6 appearances.
Yeah, he's on our show.
He was here and he was like, I thank you guys for the opportunity to let me say that I love players.
Yeah.
To all the players out there, I love you.
I heard your take, and I actually it's a good point. Like, eventually there will be someone who opts out of a playoff game, and that will be an interesting dilemma that we all face, because that does feel like it means something,
right?
And people will be mad about that, and you'll just have to deal with it.
I appreciate you listening. It's kind of like the pregnancy thing, right? Where, like, when a guy leaves and misses a game to be with his wife, everybody in the media now will be like, that guy gets it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, hey, he's going to miss a playoff game. Nothing's more important. I'm like, okay. If a guy opts out of the Super Bowl because his wife's pregnant, I want to know how that goes over.
Probably not well.
Because I'll know what everyone will be forced to say. Right. Like, people will feel like the safe zone here is to applaud this when, and again, there are, of course, times where it's like, if something's complicated or something like that. Again, I get the whole point, but I think there's a line on a lot of these conversations that we have where we think we're all on the same page, and then I present scenarios, be like, okay, what about this, though? Would you then be on a TV show going, yeah, starting quarterback missed the Super Bowl, wife's on kid number 3? That's the right call.
Right.
Because family first.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, it's a good point.
It's going to be Greeny being like, you know what? Fuck his wife. Like, that's pussy shit. You need to get out there and play.
It is, yeah.
That's pretty aggressive out of you.
No, Greeny's going to be like, I got two of those little shits running around. Fuck them. We're talking about a ring here.
I do think college football is just in a very like severe transition period where everyone's just going to have to suck it up for a couple of years till things normalize. No, seriously, because I have friends who...
No, it's kind of funny.
No, I have friends who hate the NIL and, like, not hate it, but, like, they're like, oh, man, now this school's going to pay for this player. It's like, well, what do you think was happening before? You know what I mean? Like, it was all happening. Now it's just we can actually see it, and kids can make money and not feel bad about themselves. So it's all in flux right now, and college sports are the one thing where it's like the fans hate change because it's all tradition and it's all old school and all this stuff. You just have to suck it up because it will all normalize, and we'll look back in 10 years and be like, remember when we thought NIL was going to ruin college football? No, it didn't. It's fine. Remember when opt-outs were going to ruin college football? No, it didn't. It's fine. It's just right now people think the sky is falling.
Yeah, we are really predictable on this. Like, I remember when Candlestick Park, San Francisco Giants, was the first one to change its name and be 3Com, and you thought, I don't know, do you guys have an IT guy to get on that? Because then they started having anchors on SportsCenter like freaking out about it, and they called it Commercial Stick Park, and it was like, how can you change the name to something that isn't a park? Like, how can it not be named after something cool and it's just a commercial? It's just a naming rights thing, and people were fucking pissed about it. And then guess what? It was the norm. People actually spend a lot of time arguing about patches on NBA jerseys.
Yeah.
You probably don't even notice them anymore. All right. Think of the transfer rules. And I made this point in my podcast where I remember like being offended that Stephon Marbury was only going to be in school for a year. I'm like, who's this kid think he is?
Right.
You know, I was younger. I was like, I don't know, 14. And I'm going, who's Stephon Marbury think he is? You know, like, who gives a shit? And then it got to the point where I didn't even want these guys to even have to become one and done. So we, in the moment, we'll have things changing around us where we freak out about it. Like, think about the transfer rule and the arguments about the transfer rule. Now, it feels like almost everybody's on the same page. It's like, wait, if coaches' salaries are going to quadruple in a decade, guess what? You can deal with some transfers.
Yeah.
You can deal with kids leaving and being eligible immediately.
I love the transfer rule because it's just whatever coach complains, they're essentially saying I have to work harder, and it sucks.
Yeah, and so even just a couple years removed from some of these things that we thought were such a big deal, and I just feel like the NIL is another one of those things.
Yeah, the only one
it's going to be normalized here in a very short amount of time.
The only one I remember that got actual pushback and it didn't happen was when baseball tried to put Spider-Man on all the bases. Do you remember that? I think it was when like Spider-Man 2 was coming out.
I'm actually working on a documentary.
On the Spider-Man. Wait, let's shout out Bill Plaschke, by the way, because he's still mad about stadiums changing. That was an all-time take. When Staples changed to crypto.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, how could they?
Yeah, he didn't like it.
It was named after a fucking office supply company. What are we talking about?
And by the way, office supply warehouses in general are struggling right now.
Good point. Great point. All right, Warriors. Warriors going to win it all.
No. We still had one more thing there, though. I felt like
opt-outs.
PFT.
You have anything on opt-outs?
I don't have anything else on opt-outs. I have a hypothetical, though, if you want to talk about it.
Oh.
Okay,
Yes.
The Curry brothers against the Jokic brothers. So they get 3. The Jokic's get 3, but the Currys get 2. Who wins in a basketball game?
Okay, so I told you, I talked to one of the guys of the Nuggets staff that said the Jokic brothers got thrown out of the staff pickup game because it was so vicious. All right? So I think I'd actually go with the Jokic's because there's 3 of them. And, you know, Jokic, the one we know about, the shit he does on a nightly basis to carry this team around him. And there are some stats that tell you, like, he's the runaway MVP. I don't think it's fair to say runaway in comparison to, you know, some of the stuff, although Golden State's fallen off a little bit offensively the last few weeks. What Jokic does to carry that team and the way he plays. And it's just funny, too, because he gets taken in the second round, and they're like, well, what was your deal? He's like, man, those first few practices, I was so out of shape. He's like, I used to drink 3 liters of soda every day. So I don't know if GM should find like really skilled guys that have the worst diet, right? Like, can we find anybody with a horrible diet that's completely out of shape that actually is just a really good passer though and good hands? Like that's what we should be focusing on. So I'd love to pick the Currys because the shooting and stretching the floor, but defensively, and the fact that one of the other Jokic brothers would probably kill someone to get to 11. From what I've heard from guys that played in pickup games with them, again that they were banned from. I'm gonna go with the guys from the Eastern Bloc.
But full court, you go with the Currys.
Do you know I went to go play the other day and two guys were playing full court 1-on-1?
I love it.
That's so cool.
And I had to wait.
That's awesome. Good. You should wait. Just trying to get some cardio in. Were there any was one of them just like fast breaking?
No. They were in good shape, man. They went
because they do
crazy,
that all day.
That's such a funny thing to do at like a local gym.
Yeah.
Just take up the entire.
But waiting, and then guys are like waiting. Like you guys should do it and see how long you should run a video of it. You guys play full court someplace in the city, and then when a couple guys show up, and be like, "What's the plan?" And then your video guy, and then maybe Hank goes, or maybe Billy, and says, "Yeah, they've got the court." And then they'd be like, "Okay, well, this is ridiculous." And they'd be like, "Well, look, gain point." And they'd be like, "What are you playing to?" And Billy says 101.
You want next? Yeah.
And then you're going to lay it. You're like, all right, 12-6.
All right, so wait.
Warriors,
Are they going to win the title?
I
mean, they're awesome. They're awesome, and they have Clay.
I can't believe they're this
it's
good.
Crazy.
Yeah, to be this good without Clay, and part of it is that like five guys all of a sudden got way better. This is the best Wiggins has ever played. The depth around them, the development from where a couple guys were last year, although Poole was really good last year too statistically. This is scary. And so I'd love to see something out of Wiseman just to give him some kind of size that can hang with Ayton, because if they don't have any size other than Looney and then Draymond having to play a small center, although, look, Ayton can have his nights. He can also have some nights where, and I like Ayton a lot. I just think that you wish it were just always like superstar level from him to take that next step. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And even if Ayton has a physical advantage over somebody, it's just not the way the game is played anymore. Even with Chris Paul getting him the ball, it's not like Ayton's going to destroy you for 30 on the block the whole time. The game's just not played that way. So sometimes when I look at like size advantage, disadvantages, I have to remind myself like, okay, I can think this guy has a huge advantage because of their front line, but is that really how the game is going to be played? Probably not. So the Golden State part of this with Clay coming back, because there's just this absolute sellout now defense against Steph that, we've always seen blitzing where two stay with the ball off of whatever. They're coming all the way out now to do it to Steph. And sometimes it's throwing it to Draymond for a 4-on-3, which is terrific. Iguodala is a valve as well. But now that Clay is going to be an option off of you selling out against Steph, good luck with that.
Yeah, it's a good point, because it is. I went to the game when they played the Knicks. He broke the record. It was like the defense they were playing against him. It was crazy. It was like they had two guys out there. You don't see that. They just never let him shoot, and he still had like 25.
No, there are certain nights and certain possessions where you're just kind of laughing, being like, "Hey, double team at half court."
Yeah,
and there's some more of that. I even saw it with Ja Morant, who's been on an absolute tear now since he's been back since the injury, and that guy's awesome. I love watching Memphis; a lot of fun. So check him out. Shout out Grizz. But all right, go ahead. You want to sell out and stop Steph and get the ball out of his hands. They have this record with these defensive statistics, with this improvement around him. Like I thought, they'd ride it and then kind of be in that 5 to 6 mix, and then Clay would come back and then we'd see what we have. But this is scary. This is scary. Although as good as they've been, I still don't think this is the kind of team where Wiggins or Draymond are your second best player. That would be the model of a team that wins an NBA title. I wouldn't think. I think I've even talked myself into kind of liking Phoenix better than them. Liking Phoenix better than them without Clay, but they beat him again. So with Clay back, it's hard. It's hard for me to find Utah. It'd be hard for me to pick out of those teams against Golden State if everybody's healthy in a series.
All right, so give us your finals.
All right, I'll go Golden State, and I'm going to say Milwaukee again, and it's kind of a bet against the newness of Chicago, not loving Chicago's options defensively for the size of Middleton and Giannis, and that the Brooklyn thing. I don't really like picking against them because like they almost proved us all. They basically proved to us last year that if they'd been healthy for the playoffs, the 3 guys could play for 8 games in the regular season and then win a title. Like that's not something that's supposed to happen, but they're better. And then you add the Joe Harris part of it. Patty Mills has been huge for him. You know, if the Nets end up winning the East, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to be surprised, but I'll just pick Milwaukee again because maybe I wonder if the Nets thing. I mean, if I also said, hey, this thing could get really weird again with Kyrie and the fact that Harden still can't get in shape. Harden was so bad the other night against Memphis. He's just not interested. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
What about
with
Ben
him.
Simmons maybe eating his way out of Philadelphia? Did James Harden give the blueprint?
I wonder, would you trade those two for each other?
Harden for Simmons?
If
No.
if I'm Philadelphia, yes.
If you're the Nets, no.
All right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a no if you're the Nets.
It's a yes if you're
clearly.
It's a huge yes. It's a godsend.
Yes.
Well, he thought he was getting him. I mean, that day was really weird when the trade went down because there were people that were like, no, it's done. And Ben's, kicking the tires on what it's going to be like for him in Houston. So I don't know if everybody's going to be totally truthful about that story. Because, again, I'm not saying that I know the truth 100%, but there were a lot of people that were in the league earlier that day that were like, oh, yeah, Philly got him.
All right.
And then it switched.
So my last question, because we've taken a long time for you. So we're going to see you in L.A. We're going to do a podcast with Titus and you again. So everyone check it out.
Nah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. I agree.
Not on
I
Titus.
agree. My last question, because I know we've already taken an hour of your time. Georgia, Alabama, Monday night. Who's your pick? And how much would a healthy LSU team beat both these teams? Because they got the.
Can you believe
just
how?
Look at the recruiting, Ryan. They got the dudes.
Were you trying to make fun of me last night about LSU?
You didn't.
And then did you think I took it way too seriously and came back at you hardo?
It was just a communication error. The LSU was playing against Kansas State in their bowl game. They had all their quarterbacks have been either injured or transferred, so they were starting a wide receiver. And I was making fun of, being like, I thought LSU recruited well. How, this guy sucks.
Yeah, but see, I picked up on the joke, but I was like, I just want to make sure we're still joking here.
Yes, we were joking.
Yeah, man. I mean, LSU, the amount of talent they've had walk out the door in the last 12 months is
crazy.
Is impressive and also a massive problem.
Yes.
So, hey, where are you guys at now? Are you done with Baton Rouge?
No, I mean, I love Brian Kelly. I think he's just as funny as Coach O.
No, the deal was you guys were off the LSU train when O left, and I could have my team back. Everybody thinks you guys are the LSU guys.
I've actually
Joey Molinaro.
I've loved LSU. Obviously, I didn't go to a big state school. I went to JMU, so we don't have now we're going to the Sun Belt, which is nice. But
that's my deal. That's my Vermont deal. I'm allowed to pick a different team.
So all my best friends went to LSU. I would go down there every spring break, and so I did.
Wait a minute. That's not. Is that true?
Yeah. For some reason, they just all decided to go to Baton Rouge.
I don't know if all, but a few. I know a few of them.
Three of my best friends went there. So I started to like LSU, but
where are they?
I can't.
Where are they in your best friend ranking?
I mean, one came to us to the national championship, so he's not lying.
Yeah, I'd say two of them are in my top 5, but I'm not saying that.
That's actually pretty good.
I'm not a diehard LSU fan, but I do like that school, and I always have. I loved it when Coach O was there. There's a big part of me that's rooting for it to completely fall apart with Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I'm easy. I'm out now that O's out. I love going to Baton Rouge. I'll go to a game, but yeah, it was a Coach O deal. I've loved Coach O for before that with LSU or USC when he was winning interim games.
Ole Miss.
No, but the whole thing was he's got the greatest record of all time as an interim head coach. So we would just win money when he would be an interim when USC had him coaching. They went 6-1 to finish that season. So I'm out. I can't. Brian Kelly's a different dude. I still love the people of Louisiana, but Brian Kelly is hard to root for.
I want it to keep getting worse with Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
I want the introductory basketball game thing. I want that to just be the tip of the iceberg for Brian Kelly.
Hey, by the way, all the heat he took during that basketball game last night in the win against Kentucky, on Wednesday, or the game was Tuesday. Don't you think he was making fun of himself, though, by saying Boston people don't have
he
a
was
strong
joking.
accent?
Yeah, it was a joke.
He was joking. Why does everybody think that he was serious
Cancel
with
culture,
that?
Ryan. The internet is just so quick
Yeah,
to jump
it
on
is.
people.
Aaron Rodgers is right. I'll agree with him on one thing.
Yep.
No, Brian Kelly is. Yeah, he's not a likable guy. No. He wasn't a likable guy at Notre Dame. Like he's not one of those guys. Like even Saban, I do have Saban. It's crazy to me that he's just not even bored at this point because it's just so nuts. Like I likened it to if you're playing it on Xbox, eventually you up the level because you're like, this isn't fun. I keep winning every year. It's not even fun anymore. But Saban,
it'd be like Peter North going out on a Thursday. Be like, you want to go out and talk to some girls?
Right. It's like too easy. Right. The Saban
what?
Still has I like Saban. He's not an unlikable guy. Brian Kelly's just not likable.
Hey, Saban's really By the way, Saban is really, unless you're his offensive coordinator, Saban is a really likable guy. I don't know how much time you guys have spent with him. Every time I spend time with him. Now, again, he wasn't going to be an asshole to me for 10 minutes. Be like, hey, this is a good idea. Have this guy with a microphone in front of his face 15 hours a week think I'm a jerk. But I don't know. I've always – the Saban thing, it was one of the points that I was kind of talking about with the playoff in general because we have these blowout games, which the point differential, I think since the playoff was started, is 17 points on average, the point differential in these playoff games. I mean, that's ridiculous.
There's been 3 good games.
It's way
There's been 3 good games in 10 years. No, seriously. There's been 3 good games.
You know what we really need? We need Alabama's quarterback to have his girlfriend in the hospital giving birth on the night of the national championship game, miss a game, and then see how Saban reacts to that. I would love to see that.
That would be good.
That would be the ultimate.
You know what'd be funny is if a guy says, I have a problem with him opting out because of a child's birth, but the NIL plays a part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who's your pick?
I'm doing it. I'm going to do it and make a huge mistake. I'm picking Georgia in the rematch.
I hate it. Same. The only thing that keeps going in my head, though, I think Georgia's better. I just think that Kirby's smart. There will be a moment.
Stetson isn't better.
No,
okay, finish your Kirby thought because
Stetson's not even on the same page as right. That's not obviously it's not quarterback, but defensively and just more consistently, they have been better all year. Alabama has had a great last few weeks. If you watched every Alabama game, they did not look great every week. You know what I mean? They struggled against teams. They struggled against LSU. They struggled against Florida, against Auburn, weird games. I just think Kirby at some point, the thing that scares me about my pick, and I've already bet it, I'm taking Georgia, but I'm scared that Kirby's going to be uh-oh, what do I do here? It's happening again, because it does feel like Alabama just has that mental edge over them.
You and I talked about this for weeks leading up to the eventual Georgia game that we knew was going to happen, and it's a huge number. Bama's getting 6.5, 7. And then when you're like, oh, so when Bama gets this many points under Saban, they've never lost. You're like, okay, that's scary. But I couldn't help myself of being like, man, Bama just can't really block this year. I'm like, all right, so that front seven's all NFL guys. They're going to block them. They got the ball out quick. I talked to Cloud on my podcast this week. He made a great point. He said, what's funny is that Bryce had more trouble against Cincinnati because there was things that were confusing, where Georgia is so easy to him because Georgia is basically mimicking what they're doing at Bama. Now, again, I'm sure somebody could get into the intricacies of it and saying, well, Georgia and Bama differentiate themselves this way or all these. But, personnel-wise, kind of the standard what you're trying to take away and all this kind of different stuff. But, with no Mechie, we didn't see it against Cincinnati because physically it was just 2 different groups there. But no Mechie's a huge deal because as great as Jameson Williams is, the depth for the receivers for Bama, unless we have one of these weird bowl things where all of a sudden, some random guy shows up like Ohio State. You're wait, Marvin Harrison's kid out there and he's nasty, which you didn't even see him because the other 2 first rounders didn't play. I'm with you and I'm scared to death that I'm falling for it again. And I think you're right because I think every Georgia fan looks at Kirby and goes, are we going to have that moment where you just can't hang with the guy across the sideline from you?
All right. Yeah. I have one last thing to ask you about. Your girl, Elizabeth Holmes, unfortunately, was yesterday found guilty on several counts.
Yes.
Have you inquired as to what the conjugal visit laws are? Are you going to be paying her? Are you going to stop by and say hi to her?
People don't know that you guys dated.
I know. I don't really like talking about it. But I knew her way. I mean,
yeah, before her voice changed.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what are your thoughts on the Theranos trial?
Look, I can separate the two. If you guys have known me long enough, I've done this a long time. And I think I pride myself in like, hey, I can feel this way about somebody, but this is who I think they are in their profession. I think I'm the best at it. Maybe in the country.
Separate the art from the artist. Except I'm kind of the other way around. I think she sucks, but I think her inventions were good. I think we need to really dig into those black boxes, and I'm sure that there's some gold in there somewhere.
Her invention is the same as me drawing a DeLorean.
Yeah, but you admit that if there was a machine that
No.
could take one drop of blood and then diagnose everything that's wrong with you, that would be a good thing.
I'll put it this way. I'm always going to care about her, but she made a huge mistake.
Anything for Billy real quick before we go? Billy's going to stay at your house in L.A. for Super Bowl week.
There's a lot of people chiming in about vacancy over here during that week. I got to tell you, I don't know that we're going to be. We might be a soft opening. Be a soft opening.
Best kind
but
of
we do
opening.
have a night. We have a night set up for the close friends and family, private event, away from all the glitz and glamour. And we may even start it with a couple beach sunset reads, and then have us walk up the path back to the. So we're gonna have a little pre-thing, and then the real thing.
Beautiful,
cool.
We're in.
Unless the Hornets are on.
Yeah, then we got to watch them. One of your favorite watches. You do
Billy?
watch the games.
Billy looks like he has something on his mind.
Can we?
All right.
Can we
Yeah,
just?
Billy,
Can we
get
just
in
park
there.
at your house though? Because no, we have to park somewhere. I'm going on this trip. So,
It's a rental car. You're going to drive your
No,
actual
no,
car?
it's not a
Oh, yeah,
rental.
that's right.
so we're gonna have to park it somewhere.
But
do you,
he
how many?
doesn't-
Do you have spots?
You driving cross
So,
country?
so we
Yes,
did
yeah.
a year-long competition of the six of us. The loser, so it's 4 picks a week, NFL, underdog, favorite, over, under. The loser, and this is the diabolical part thanks to Henry Lockwood, the loser and the second place guy have to drive across the country to go to L.A. So second place loses as well. So it's chaos. Like, we're coming down to it. And everyone's still
So
alive.
third is in the
Third's
clear.
First in the clear, fourth, fifth.
It looks like it's going to be Billy in last place, and then second place is most likely going to be myself or Hank.
Or Jake or me. Like, it's chaos. Everyone's still alive in week 18 for
That's
everything.
great. So, all right. Yeah, I'm going to just say
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
You can
Yeah.
Park on your lawn.
Beautiful.
If you
Yeah.
That'd be good look.
we don't have many lawns over here.
What about basements? Do you have basements?
I got like a half. A lot of basements. It's hard to even get a basement out here either.
Billy,
So,
like, we're going to stay at a totally different part of L.A., and Billy's going to be like, well, we got free parking at Russillo's in Manhattan Beach. It's like, well,
yeah, that's actually going to be a huge mistake to park here. Where are you
I don't
guys
know.
staying?
It'll
Are
probably
you
be like a $100 Uber to just get his car every day when you could have just valeted it for $20. But you've agreed we're parking at your house.
If he needs to park there, he
Done.
can park here.
Just making plans.
Way to go, Billy. No, we got a parking spot now.
I would do anything. I'd do anything
we
for
go.
Billy.
Thanks, bro.
Come on, I can't.
Well,
Yeah. How's everything else going? How are the bench numbers? Let's get out of the
we're
way.
working on it. We're getting it together in January.
Billy thinks the vaccine sucked all the strength out of him.
Who knows? Years from now,
What are your thoughts on it?
maybe we'll
I
find
know
a
he
study.
actually does, though. He's like,
I haven't noticed this. I haven't post-vaccine. I haven't noticed a significant difference. But we're all different. We all have different, DNA.
We're about to actually work out right now. Billy hit me up yesterday and was like, hey, you want to work out after Russillo? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, bring juice. So I'm bringing my juice to this.
By the way, what are you guys eating online there? I've noticed just a bunch of
Yeah,
pills.
Billy's got us on
What are you
pills.
guys doing?
We're on the sups.
and Hank's got problems now. You're not feeling well, Hank?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Billy's just giving us a random cocktail of pills that we're all taking that's probably going to end us all.
It's probiotics.
And other things. It does take like 15 minutes to take them all.
It's turmeric. There's turmeric in there.
Turmeric.
It's three sets of 3. That's what I do.
And they're big.
Dude, you guys don't need to be taking turmeric at this, or at least Billy
Well,
doesn't. Like, you're doing it for your joints and everything.
prep.
You're too.
It's prep.
You don't.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're getting in front of the joint
Exactly.
pain by taking turmeric at such
Right,
an early
exactly.
age.
Every day I wonder, like, could Billy kill me with these pills? And I realize the answer is yes, but I still take them because maybe it'll work.
Yeah, maybe they'll work.
I noticed the fish oil in there. That's always. I don't think anybody's anti-fish oil.
No,
right?
fish oil is
PFT?
good. I mean,
Anybody?
I used to give fish oil to my dog. Fish oil is as long as I've always frozen the pills, so that way when you take it, you don't burp and you don't taste the fishiness.
The fish oil burp is terrible.
These are burp.
I take. Wait a minute. What are they?
Burp anti-burp ones. No, seriously, they sell those ones. They're the omega-3.
See, I'm concerned. I would rather have the ones that make me burp than the ones that they add stuff into.
It's because they have thicker capsules, so they don't dissolve by the time you swallow them.
But
that sounds worse.
I think it's just a thicker gelatin.
We're probably going to be dead by the time we get to Los Angeles, so you won't have to worry about it.
Hey, you know what that means? I'll move up in the rankings.
True. Dead or jacked.
Yes, dead or jacked. All right, Ryan, thank you. Thank you for giving us an hour plus. We'll see you soon.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. We got Fyre Fest of the week. Send everyone on their way. Week 18. Next time we'll be talking about playoff setups, playoff matchups, which is going to be very exciting on Sunday night. Fyre Fest of the week. Hank, you start. Hank said he had a huge one. Huge one.
It was a pretty big Fyre Fest. It derailed my entire week, but it's also offered me some perspective, a little bit of a some things moment, if you will. Material things don't matter that much. But obviously we were gone, vacation. I was on vacation, got back to the office on Sunday and Monday, and there was a bunch of boxes. There was a box from Roback. They sent me like a bunch of new stuff. Duvin, which is one of my favorite clothing companies, they sent me a box of goodies. There was a couple jumpsuits that we had got sent. That Big Cat, you gave me one. And I think something else, like a nice hat. And I took this on Tuesday afternoon, I took this big tote bag. I put everything in there, got on the train, and then on the train I just zoned out. Like I take 2 trains to get home, and I think on one of the transfers I just left the tote bag with like basically my entire wardrobe for the rest of the year on the train.
Oh, no.
And I was watching TV like 7 hours later, and I just bolted up. It was just like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
And then I looked around my house and was like, yeah, no, I fucking left that on the train.
A giant bag filled with clothes?
Brand new clothes, like all wrapped. Nice.
No.
That's the worst.
And usually like the thing, and and again, this is where it's like some things, it's like whatever, it's just material items, doesn't matter. I have clothes already, I'll be fine. But usually we get stuff sent, and usually it just stays on the desk or in the pile. If there's something I actually like, taking the effort, as you know, Big Cat, PFT, you guys are pile guys as well. If you take the effort to bring it home, like that's something you want.
Yeah, it's also very funny to think that Hank just left a giant bag on the train, and somebody probably called the cops later because they thought that there was a bomb on there.
No, I mean, it was all like, if you open the bag, it was clearly like wrapped up stuff.
You might see a homeless guy rocking some
I hope
awesome
I do.
swag.
Getting his fits off.
Yeah, on your subway route.
Dude, there was good stuff. There was everything. Sweatshirts, long sleeve, collared shirts. It was I took the best of the best, put it in a bag, brought it home, was like, good, don't have to shop for a year.
So Hank doesn't have any clothes. If you own a clothing company out there, Hank is asking you humbly.
No, I'm saying I learned this was a learning experience, and it's like, whatever. I don't need clothes. Just give me whatever.
Big Cat, you're also missing out. Hank is dressed really nicely today.
Let me see.
Hank, show it off.
He's looking adult as fuck.
He's very adult right now. This has got to be new clothes.
Look at this adult-ass fit.
Look at this.
Is he wearing jeans?
Shirt with the
that's
buttons.
Just so... For people who are listening right now, he's just wearing jeans and a shirt.
No, it's a nice shirt, though.
Yeah, it is. It's a shirt. It's a shirt.
If he was wearing a button down,
it's a flannel. He's wearing jeans and a flannel. It's adulting.
That's a little life hack for all the kiddies out there. If you wear sweatpants 90% of the time, if you wear jeans and you come to work, people are like, oh my God, you look great.
Yeah.
And if I don't wear a hat, people are like, oh my God, you got dressed up today.
Yeah. Set that bar low.
Yeah.
All right, PFT, your Fyre Fest.
My Fyre Fest is I had a glass of wine last night.
Pussy.
And yeah, I know. Man card, Joe Buck. It was a Pinot Grigio. It was a white wine. I poured it. I took a sip, and it tasted awful. I mean, awful. It tasted like a rotten margarita, like a margarita that's been left out for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And I was like, oh, this wine sucks. It must have gone bad. It must be corked. I poured myself a different glass of white wine. That sucked too. COVID fucked up my taste buds. I can still taste and smell, but all alcohol tastes awful to me. Like real bad. Like there's a visceral reaction when I drink it where it tastes like it's rotten. Like I can't drink beer. I can't drink liquor. I can't drink wine. It's all fucked up. I don't know how long this is going to last.
That does suck.
Damn. Are you sure you didn't brush your teeth before?
I'd never brush my teeth, Billy. You know that. No, I did not brush my teeth. But I don't drink that much. I'll usually have like 2 beers on like Friday, maybe a couple beers on Saturday. But this, especially like this football season, I haven't been drinking much alcohol. But it's just a weird sensation that I hope comes back because I do enjoy drinking the occasional beer, the occasional ice cold Coors Light. So I don't know how long my taste buds are going to be fucked up for, but that's really the only lingering effect besides the brain fog, and also now I'm 5'8". But besides that, I don't have anything else from COVID. But it's a bizarre thing to have sticking around with you.
That's weird because when I had it in February, I lost all taste, but it was like consistently all taste for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Not like a little bit of taste or something tastes bad. It was I made that video where I was licking my deodorant bar, and it was just nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah. That's weird.
I can still taste everything else tastes perfectly fine and normal, but for some reason the alcohol tastes. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe I'll do sober January.
Maybe it came back and it's just super hardcore.
Maybe I can taste alcohol more. Maybe I could be like a sommelier. This wine
you're a wine
sucks.
snob now. Yeah.
This wine also sucks.
All right, my Fyre Fest is I got a new iPhone, and I got the new iPhone Pro Max, and it was too big, and I guess I have small hands, which I didn't realize, which sucks.
You've measured your hands though, right? They're like quarterback.
Yeah,
safe?
they're normal size. I wouldn't get a tweet from Ian Rappaport being like, "Holy shit, Big Cat's hands, don't draft them." But I don't know. I think it also is just an enormous phone. It's very heavy. The Pro Max iPhone 13. Bubba has it, but Bubba has gigantic hands.
Freak hands.
But really it was like, you know how most of when you're on your phone, the majority of it is like holding it and just using your thumb, being able to get to the top and the bottom with your thumb. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do that, so it was bad.
What kind of coverage do you have with a full swipe? Can you go like 70%?
What do you mean?
Like how far?
I already returned it. I already returned it. I had to return the phone.
Oh, so
it was too big.
That's a new phone that you have right now.
This is a new phone.
You
I
had
had
to
to
get the
return
mini
it because
for your tiny hands.
This is the regular size. The Pro Max. Also, when you take it out of your pocket, as everyone knows, I don't use a case. I'll never use a case. I almost dropped it like 6 times taking it out of my pocket because it's heavy and it's got a lot to it. So yeah, it was a wake up call.
Wow. I mean, the internet is saying that you have tiny hands now.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that your Fyre Fest was going to be Djokovic. Your king is trapped in an airport in Australia, like the plot of the Terminal 2.
He'll be fine.
It's fucked up what they did to him, I thought. They invited him.
Yeah, of course it is.
And then they told him that you're not allowed to leave the airport.
They don't want him to win. They don't want to see him win. It's probably Roger Federer trying to keep him down.
And then
they know that he's going to break the record.
His dad got involved. Did you see what his dad said?
Yeah, he was pissed. His dad will fight someone.
All-time quote from Srdjan Djokovic. Shame on them. The entire freedom-loving world should rise together with Serbia. They crucified Jesus, and now they're trying to crucify Novak the same way.
Did Jesus ever win Wimbledon? Did Jesus ever beat Roger Federer at Wimbledon?
He's a cross-court all-star. No, he did not.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, Jake.
My Fyre Fest happened on the show. It was well documented.
Why? What happened?
Oh, so if you didn't listen to Wednesday's episode,
which you didn't.
Yeah,
you got me.
Got him.
So
good one,
you guys were talking about the Lowman Trophy. I was digging into Wisconsin football game notes, looking for the pronunciation of John Chanel, and I did
pronunciation.
Yes, of you guys talking about the Kellen Mond incident. And that was my hot seat.
Jake, I don't want to pile on, but it sounds like you just made an excuse.
I mean, that's why it's not an excuse. That's just the reasoning.
It sounds like It sounds like you included it because it was an excuse.
Not an excuse. I screwed up. You saw my apology on the Notes app. It happens. Mm-hmm. Just move on. But that's my Fyre Fest of the week.
What would you say?
I feel strongly that you will bounce back, Jake.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I do too. But yeah, all right. I'm just saying, I'm not mad at you, Jake. I'm just disappointed.
Fair.
Billy?
So I woke up Wednesday morning. I was feeling great. My body's operating on the highest level because I'm supped up. Bounced out of bed. It was about like 7:30. Got a couple rounds on the bag, boxing, about like 15 one-minute rounds. Ate breakfast, was feeling good, got everything ready, was about to head out the door.
I hope Billy just keeps narrating his entire day like this. And whatever happened to him happened at the end of the day. Keep going.
Got everything going. Took one step off into my staircase going down into the street. Totally wiped out. Went totally vertical, slipped. It was an icy staircase. Went all the way down the stairs, hit my head, hit both funny bone, all the nerves in my elbows on the side of the same staircase, then slid all the way down the staircase to the sidewalk. And I was on my back staring at the sky, just like both elbows buzzing. And I had totally just slipped down, wiped out. It was terrible.
Did anybody see you?
Yes.
What I tell you, though,
I know.
After I have a long-standing theory that everyone gets one wipeout a year. Everyone wipes out once during the winter months, and it's better to almost get it out of the way earlier because then you're a little bit more cautious. Because like when it gets cold and there's ice, you don't remember that like, oh fuck, I got to start watching where I walk and all these like hazards and everything. So you fall once. Hopefully it's not a bad fall, and then the rest of the winter you got your head on a swivel.
Yeah, the one guy who saw me, Liam knows this guy. He's this dude who runs around the neighborhood yelling all the time, asking people for cigarettes and money for coffee. And he goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, man." I couldn't really talk at that point, kind of winded.
Did you give him money?
In that moment, I'm sorry, but like,
Yeah, he alphaed you. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, he didn't. I didn't give him money because I was like, I had to like gather myself because I was.
You have to next time.
I know next time.
He was looking out for you.
Yeah,
He saved your life.
He's the only one that checked on you.
I know, but then I had to
Yeah,
just.
I'm sorry it wasn't there.
Yeah,
Next time.
no, it's fine. But
I just really wish that there was some sort of like surveillance footage that we could see of Billy falling
there
down.
might
cartoonishly
be some
slipping
video
and
somewhere.
falling and yeah.
Yeah, but it was that was the first I'm fucking old moment.
You're not.
Well, I woke up the next
23.
morning and I was sore. And I was like,
Because
what?
you fell on your ass down a whole flight of stairs.
Yeah, but usually you bounce back from those. Anyway, 2022 just reminded me body craves contact.
There we go.
So,
Billy, I never want to hear you say I'm old again.
getting old, bro.
No. Oh, you ever feel like maybe like you're just over the club scene and you just want to have an IPA with your dog and just chill on the couch?
That's a little too old. I don't think I've ever drank an IPA in my life.
Yeah, because it gives you tits, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stay away from that.
Oh, the thought just
okay.
occurred to me. Maybe Billy's supplements fucked up my taste buds.
Oh, also could be true.
That could be. That's a definite possibility. Anything that goes wrong in my body, I just need to remind myself I'm ingesting like 40 different chemicals that a 19-year-old gave me.
I've been giving you Antabuse. That's the drug that makes you puke whenever you touch alcohol.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's for your
Damn.
health.
All right, let's do numbers. Send everyone on their way. Billy, hit it.
8.
22.
88.
6.
92, 12, 98, 86, 84, and 32 aren't in. 69.
44.
Uh-oh.
It's not plugged in.
Billy thought he was just
Billy
going
set up shop.
to sit in Big Cat's spot and take his job. It's not that easy. 8.
Billy eating any meals in my desk?
No, he's just sketching a woolly mammoth. Oh, we got to... Is that going to go up?
I swear to God. Oh,
No.
my God.
What was that?
Oh, it was
That was
99.
99.
I thought it was
99.
88. I was gonna
Wow.
fucking
That was not
flip
qualified.
out.
That was not
Do
qualified.
it again. Got to do it again.
99 did not make it all the way up the chute.
Got to do it again. Oh, Wisconsin football just posted official thank you for the low man trophy.
Oh, nice.
The actual Twitter account. That's awesome.
What do we have? 58.
Second timer.
58.
58.
58.
All right.
All right. We'll see everyone on Sunday night, Monday morning. Also, the Barstool Sports Bar will be open in Chicago on Saturday. So go check it out.
Where?
North. River North.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Is there like an intersection or just like go to River North?
Just River
until
North.
You see White Sox.
I don't know
Dave.
the exact address. You just Google it.
Love you guys.
Turkeys are only native to mainland United States.
Talking away, I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for your love, okay? Shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. Needless to say, I'm on sentence, but I'll ease a little way. So they learn that life is okay. Say after me. It's no better to be safe than sorry. Say after me. It's no better to be safe than sorry. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. All things that you say, yeah, is it awful just to play my worries away? You're all the things I've got to remember, shying away. I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on me.